Probably till noon.
Till when?
Probably till for 3 hours, probably till noon Pacific.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what your time zone is, but
Yeah, I'm Utah's Mountain Standard Time right now. It's 10 o'clock.
okay,
So
so till 1 o'clock your time, most likely.
yeah, so if it does get to the point, because like usually my when I go in to take care of people, it takes like half hour, 45 minutes. So if there's somebody who asks a question, just say Jake will be back on.
Okay.
So how's everybody doing? How's California now that I've left it? That was horrible. That last day that I left, we were like inches away from each other, but I was driving on the road while you were driving to the Anaheim.
You got out
Positive.
just in time. We've had a heat wave for the last 3 days. It was 100 degrees yesterday.
It's going to be snowing here next week, so good on you guys.
I'll trade you.
What part of California are you in, Mickey?
Burbank.
Oh, okay.
Like
Southern. Well, mid.
yeah,
I'm
Disney.
up.
Disney
Okay.
Corporation is like walking distance from my front door. The capital of the empire.
So you walk there a couple times a week then?
Yeah, let me in.
I'm up in northern. Roseville, just outside of Sacramento.
Okay. I went through there about 2 years ago. My wife and I drove from here to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. Yep. You would come through here.
Yeah, we passed through that area.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long drive.
Yeah.
About 7-8 hours. Let's see.
That's about my drive coming out to Anaheim area is 7 or 8 hours. Well, closer to 10, but it's a long drive.
Yeah.
And I cry every time I have to like go back to Utah. I love California. I need to come down there.
You love Batu?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was the first time I ever got there, and it was amazing. I mean, you guys have probably been there thousands of times, but like it was such an amazing experience for me.
Not thousands, but 4.
Which is almost.
I only had so much money, Jake. I mean, a Disneyland trip for me, the wife, and the kid, I mean, it ends up being about $700 or $800 by the time the end of the day rolls around.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't. It ended up being about $3,000 taking my entire like group to
I believe it.
Well, that's what I get for popping out so many kids, right? But they had fun. We ended up.
Yeah, I got fixed, so that isn't anything.
It helped out a little bit.
I've been
We
neutered.
end up getting 2 sabers and four robots by the end of the entire trip.
Good Lord.
Yeah, thankfully a couple of the kids have jobs, so they're able to pay for their own crap.
Oh, okay. So you're building like a self-sustaining community out there?
Yeah. My one boy is a Vader, so if they ever want a Vader, he's coming with us. And then my other boy is a Kylo Ren. The other son is a Captain Rex. And then we're buying a Bosk for my other son. He's like, I want to be Bosk. And I was like, oh my gosh. Chris Stevens does an amazing job, but his kits are like $1,000 for the mask and the arms themselves, you know? They look beautiful, but that's expensive stuff. But I don't need to tell you guys how expensive this hobby is.
Yeah, I was gonna say my short trooper.
How many spools did you go through printing it?
Oh, mine's a Imperial surplus kit. I didn't.
All right. I'm glad to hear that you're a short trooper. That's what I'm working on.
Do you have a short trooper question?
Not yet. I mean, I probably a million questions, but I can't think of one right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, just shoot. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut off your story. You were talking.
No, this is way more interesting than Jake's.
So you went with Imperial surplus. I bought my kit before I did a whole lot of. I mean, tragic story or typical story, right? I bought my kit before I did a whole lot of research, and I'm not here to talk down about anyone, but I went with 850 Armor Works, 850, and now I want more detail. So I'm gonna go with right now. I'm working on going kind of a hybrid where I'm gonna go with the ABS parts that I can
Sure.
get where I want, and then 3D print the stuff that I want to see a little more detail. And so that's kind of what I'm working on now.
Yeah. The 850 is, I mean, 850 will
Dale.
tell that they sell budget armor. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be like the highest level.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not here to talk bad about them. They were great. Customer service is awesome.
Mhm.
I just, once I got it, so I did my helmet, and then I started on an E22, and then I went balls to the wall on my E22, and then realized that, okay, I'm going to take this all the way. So, eventually my aspirations are to go with level 2, get a level 2.
Great.
So to do that, I'm going to have to really, make some modifications. So that's it. I'm not here to, like I said, to talk bad about anyone. I want more. That's all.
Hey, Joe. Here's our one of our
How's
resident
it going, guys?
super
Good to
experts.
see everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay.
And I see Pete has joined us. Hey, Pete.
Hey, y'all.
Okay,
y'all
sounds
doing?
working this time. That's awesome.
I know, right?
Let's see. I see Tree Hugger Matt.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. Finally. You okay?
All right. So we're already international. That's great. Let's see. Here comes Corey. I see Tony. Who's Tony? Say hi. I told you I put people
Hey,
on the spot.
yeah,
Nobody.
and I told you I'm just not going to have a script. I'm Double T on the
I
boards.
double T.
So Tony Troxel, Double T. I'm so imaginative.
That's way better than my username usually is. It's like M Bukowski is what I usually go with. So that's way more creative than I could ever come up with. Let's see who else. We got Chris Killica.
Yeah. Hey, hello to all you guys. It's really nice to actually get to see the faces behind the screen names. Special thanks to Minimo over there. Sincerely appreciate all the help I've been getting from him and you too, Mike. So much appreciated with the help with my short trooper build.
Excellent. Lewis. I see Lewis.
Hello.
Hey there. How you doing?
My name is Louis from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Hey, you're a little quiet. Can you get your volume up?
Okay. Is this okay?
Maybe a little bit closer. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Who's that?
Video isn't working.
Is that Arn? Arnie?
Yes.
Is it Arnie or Arn?
Arne.
Arna.
Yeah.
In my head, it's Arn, but that's because I speak English. So I just tend not to pronounce letters. How you doing? There's my racing shirt partner.
Yeah, the you guy. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about
Thank you
you?
so much for that. You really, really saved a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah, it was the most savings were for the German guys, but well,
Sure.
because I had to send it to the other countries, it's a little bit expensive or more expensive for the other guys than for Germans, but
Still
well,
cheaper than
still savings.
Yeah, because every shirt that I send over there, it's like $25 to ship.
Yeah.
Per shirt.
Yeah.
So.
Terrible.
Yep. I don't know why it's so like the EU in particular, because I can send a shirt to Asia and it doesn't cost that much. It's like half that.
Okay. So the shipping for the shirts is less, I think. If what's the producer's name in China? If he sends it directly to us, it's
I think we're going to try
right?
to do something like that this year, but that's down the road. I'm not
okay.
We got the t-shirt and celebration to worry about for now. So the racing shirt will that'll occupy my mind later this year. I see Corey. What's up?
What's up, dude?
Did you smear Vaseline all over your lens, man? Are you going for
Yeah,
like a
it's just-
Sybil Shepherd thing?
Yeah, it's just going crazy. It's left over from my work settings. I can turn it off, but
Oh no, it's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. Okay, so who am I going to start picking on first? Who's got a question? We're not all going to stand here staring at each other all morning. We're here to help.
No, I just want to say thanks for making me feel so welcome since I joined. It's really nice
Glad
of you.
to
And
have
the
you, Matt.
help and support I've got, especially from the likes of yourself, Pete and Dennis and whatever, has been fabulous when I've been having a pretty rough time. So definitely glad I made the right choice.
Well, you know, a lot of
Can't
people,
wait to get everything sorted. It's going to take a while, but these things happen, don't it?
Yeah, and that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been going through a rough time these last 2 years. So we have gone out of our way to provide a friendly space for people. And people that aren't friendly are terminated with extreme prejudice. They are banished to the 501st form, where that kind of behavior is the coin of the realm.
No, the culture's amazing. I love it.
All right, who's got a question? I'll feel better if I'm answering questions.
All
if
right,
I'm
here's one for you.
somebody else.
For those who do the Shore Trooper and have gotten the Orca Bay boots, how is the sizing on those? I really haven't seen anything yet, and I'm always about ordering boots online. Like, hell, even the same brand, I'll switch between a 12 and a 13.
I wear a size 12, and I got the whatever the equivalent is. I think it was 46. My foot's pretty wide. It's like a flipper, and it's fine. The boot fit fine. It's great. It's like one of my favorite pairs of boots.
I wear a size 10 and I got a 43, well, 9.5 ish, and I got a 43. And I had to put an insert. So if I had to buy them again, I probably would go down to about a 42. And I'm a 9.5. But the insert actually kind of ended up being a blessing because it makes it way more super comfortable. I put a nice insert in there. So, but I haven't had a chance to do any trooping or anything. I'm still building my kit. So this is my first foray into, a 501st approved kit. I haven't really done anything like this before. I just kind of dabbled in like making my kids costumes and stuff. And then they got old enough that they don't really want me to do that anymore. So I needed to channel that into something else. And then, my 16-year-old, I got old kids, man. I got like a 25-year-old, but my 16-year-old has seen me starting to do this, and now he's like, "Ooh, I want to make a clone trooper." And I was like, "Okay, well, let me figure this whole thing out first, and then we can go from there."
See, I'm actually just looking forward to getting a costume with boots that were built fairly recently. Like the first one I did was San Diego Comic-Con in 2001, X-Wing pilot with East German jack boots with no padding whatsoever because I am an idiot. I was not feeling good by the end of that day.
Sure.
Especially since I'm the only blaze orange in a sea of white armor, but
I've marched in a parade with the Orca Bay boots on. They are very comfortable. And it's one of those things that I just try to, if I see people being like, "Hey, I found these knockoffs on Amazon for $20. I'm like, "No, just get the Orca Bays. Trust me. This is
Spend the money.
This is the thing you want to spend the money on, your feet."
Absolutely. We're huge proponents on your feet.
These boots are not that expensive compared to other boots out there. I mean, $110. The Orca Bay boots are often on sale from Ardmore. It's totally worth it.
I mean, heck, they're cheaper than some of the brands of Doc Martens these days that are crap compared to 10, 20 years ago. So
yeah, exactly.
Once again, old.
I mean, I think you're amongst friends here. Let's see, who else is joining us? Oh, Marco. Okay. Hey, Marco.
Hey, hello from Patagonia.
How are you?
Very fine. You guys?
Oh,
Nice
we're
to meet
doing
you.
good. Thanks for joining.
Good. Welcome.
You got a question today? You trying to research something?
It's my first meeting, Maggie, so I want to listen and know some new face. Sorry for my English, guys. I speak Spanish. I'm from Patagonia, so
Your English is way better than my Spanish, so don't even worry about it. Okay, so we got a bunch of people that just want to listen, but nobody's talking, so there's nothing to listen to.
okay. So I have few questions.
Okay, let's hear it.
Recently, I was on a convention, my first convention with Leon.
Awesome.
And was 3 days, 8 hours per day. And my bike suffer because the movement and the people and the picture and where. So I want to ask you some tips for the part, the white part here in the bike. I don't know the English name. Cummerbund.
Cummerbund. That's what we call it.
Because it fall down.
Sure.
I put some Velcro here, but still fall down, and the shoulders move very easy. So in the picture, don't look very nice. Two questions.
Chopper, you want to take this one?
Sure.
Mr. How to Survive on a Troop.
Yeah.
Chopper, nice to meet you.
What's up, man? Yeah, I mean, if Velcro is your friend, I don't know how much you've used. I mean, there's about 20 pounds of Velcro probably on my kit when I first started. I probably overbuilt it.
Industrial Velcros.
Yeah, the industrial stuff. Yeah, what I have is basically on my flak vest. I have sort of just like 3 or 4 strips of Velcro, here. That my bund attaches to. And then also on my flak vest, I have in my armor so that my chest armor doesn't kind of like move around as well. I put really just 2 very small pieces of Velcro here, also corresponding on my flak vest, and that sort of keeps my my chest and back armor from like not rotating back and forth a lot. The bund is pretty well secured. The other thing is, the bund ideally should sit on top of your belt. I know in the past people used to tuck it in, but it should really sit on top. And that sort of, if you have it positioned right, that also kind of keeps it from dropping down because it's sitting on top of your belt. So sitting on top. Yeah. So sitting on top of the belt, Velcro on the vest to the bund, a little bit of Velcro if you need it on the chest armor and on the flak vest. And if your shoulders are moving around a lot as well, yeah, I mean, you can put some Velcro sort of, I guess, here as well underneath the bells if you want. That's not so common, but I mean, if you're really having problems with it, I mean, there's no reason you can't. If we can't see it, it doesn't, it's whatever works for you.
Do you have any Velcro in the back? Do you have any Velcro in the back? Because my back armor always shifts a little bit up, so to keep the cummerbund attached to the armor part in the front and in the back.
I don't have any like Velcro on the back armor itself like I do on the front. Like really, I just kind of on the front side, I just kind of have a little bit here just to keep it from slipping, and that seems to secure it pretty well. I do have one piece of Velcro on the very back of the flak vest that just sort of like, where it closes and folds. There's like another piece like right there, and that all just sort of keeps it from slipping down of the bund slipping down in the back. So yes.
I have 2 little pieces of like horizontal Velcro on the back of my vest that my bund attaches to keep that back piece from dropping. And there's another piece in the front here too. So it all kind of basically becomes like one piece of cloth once it's all done. But yeah, it keeps it from shifting.
Okay. So I haven't trooped with the scout because I'm not approved yet, but just taking pictures and moving around, so it all starts wiggling around. So I need definitely more Velcro, especially on the flak vest. But yeah, first things first, I got my new helmet.
Okay.
Just got it out of the post office yesterday.
Which one is it?
It's Studio Creations.
Okay.
And I drilled some holes just to attach the visor, and I just read an build thread. So because the visor area, I marked it a little bit, not the I don't know the word.
Pilot holes.
The cutting lines, which are inside the ABS. I did a little bit of extra space down here. I don't know if it's looking good or not. So maybe I should take some pictures and put it into my VIP. So it's not very good here.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too bad though, from what I can see.
Yeah.
The SC helmet, the make or break. I mean, the SC helmet's a good helmet, but the make or break on the SC helmet, if you want to go from like 90% to like 98%, is the visor slot.
So a little bit here, the edges and down here, right?
Yeah. That piece right there, like between the people who have done like a pretty good job and like a super outstanding job, and the way it looks is make or break is on that cut. So yeah, like I've seen people like, they just take like a permanent marker or like a dry erase marker even, and you can just kind of like color it in and, show some photos to us, and we can or whatever works for you that's easily removable, and you can just take some photos and we'll be, we can mark it up and be like a little more here.
It's easier to cut inside of the flush of the line and then sand it down to get that really clean edge than to cut too far in and then not being able to, like, you know what I mean? You want to cut close to the line and then sand it down so it's easier to be able to control that edge being crisp. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So just pop it out here. So, well, I do it tomorrow, I guess. Just taking some pictures and then post them.
Yeah,
post them up.
And Jake makes a good point. It's you can always remove, but you can't add.
Yeah.
So, well, you can. It's just terribly painful to try and do it.
Yeah.
But are you just going to be cutting it with a utility knife to be able to get it out, or what were your plans on trying to get the visor out?
Well, I tried, wanted to do some drilling holes and then cut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's typically what you want to do. Just drill holes and then kind of connect the dots with the holes, and then just sand down to that line.
Yep.
I did the cheap way. I got a Steve Altman's, and everything was perfect out of the box. I kind of cheated that way, but I wanted to get into Kashyyyk Trooper initially, and then I realized how much work it was going to do. So I bought a Biker Scout, and I kind of had to do a little bit, but the Biker Scout's actually easy build.
Yeah.
Especially when you're cheating and buying a Steve Altman instead of building your own helmet.
I have an RS Props helmet. I didn't build it. I wanted the best helmet, so.
I have an Altman. I didn't build mine.
I love those Altman. I think they're fantastic.
It's a very different build than the RS.
Yeah, I got a RS helm too, but haven't finished it yet. So the SC is much easier. Because of the two shells. Terrible.
Yeah.
Are you actually building your Studio Creations, or did you have them put all the strapping in?
Who's that too, Jake?
The German guy.
So I didn't get the question.
Oh, you said you got a Studio Creations kit, right?
Yeah.
Did you pay extra to be able to have all the strapping done, or are you putting all the strapping in yourself?
I did myself.
Excellent. It's really easy. The strap's really easy. I'm gonna mute you for a sec.
So the armor is almost finished. Only the helmet is missing.
Yeah.
And I I have to attach the mud flap to the overall, and then well, only the helmet left.
Okay, sounds like you're almost there then.
Yeah.
Great.
So, Daddy, there's a problem.
Oh,
I
no.
saw him.
Oh, I got a problem.
Is that Leia?
It is.
There's a fly.
So I have a question. I think it's going to probably end up with Justin. Right now I'm working on a short trooper, but like I said, it's my first build. So I want to do all kinds of stuff, right? And then my mind's going crazy. So I'm kind of reading up on all kinds of stuff. And I think, Justin, you're the one that did a whole bunch of write-ups on patrol trooper comparisons. Was that you?
Yeah.
So I want to do one of those at some point. But I'd like to start with a helmet. And even though I read all of your comparisons, all of them kind of seem to still say it's good but not great. Is that is it translating to me the right way? Is that kind of what you were trying to convey?
All of them have their inconsistencies, and most of them, I'd say especially the Armory Shop one.
Yeah,
it's the wrong shape. The width is too narrow for what it should have been.
I know that oh gosh darn it, the Nico helmets for like short troopers is kind of highly regarded, and at some point I want to do a Rogue One Stormtrooper 2, and people seem to kind of say that Nico's Rogue One Stormtrooper helmet is pretty good. So I've been eyeballing his short trooper, and I know you touched on that a little bit, and said it had its problems, but it seemed like the best of the bunch. Am I right on that?
Yeah, for the shore or for the patrol?
For the patrol.
Okay, yeah, hold on, I can pull it up real fast and take another peek. Come on.
While he's pulling it up, secondary question: anybody troop in like 3D printed kits?
That patrol troop you have behind me, I haven't actually trooped in it yet, and Mrs. Poopy's Scout is 3D printed. We have a couple other, I think we have some newer people that have done full 3D like kits.
Because like I said, I'm doing a hybrid, so I'm gonna have some 3D printed parts, and I live in Northern California, and it gets balls hot here at certain points, and I'm just wondering, has anybody had any problems with what's that?
The don't print in PLA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it
PETG?
Okay.
PETG. Printed
Learn to
PETG.
embrace PETG. Yep.
Okay. Even for like the small parts, I would still have problems.
Yeah.
Just don't stand out in the sun.
Well, I guess that's probably that would be good advice regardless, right?
Yeah.
I read in no, I saw in the Galactic Armory. You know that guy?
Yes, I do.
He make with 3D printer props, but he used fiberglass in the interior of the 3D printer to make sure maintain the original form.
Yeah, some people do that with PLA armor. I just learned, PETG, so I print with that. My daughter's short trooper armor is PETG, and she hasn't broken it yet. So
yeah, you guys have given me some kind of anxiety now, because most of the parts I've printed so far have been in PLA. So
my E22 is PLA, and
yeah,
I coated it with XTC, to kind of reinforce it and smooth out the layer lines. So you might want to try that.
My E22 is completely done. I did a lot of sanding and a lot of Bondo, like spot putty. I have 0 print lines on it, and that's so I don't know if that spot putty stuff is gonna also do a little protecting,
it might in spots, but like I said, if you have PLA parts, just don't stand in the sun.
Okay.
Group indoors.
Well, I mean, I have a printer now. If it starts to melt, I can kind of just
That's the thing.
reprint.
It'll start warping with enough heat up, with enough daylight applied to it. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, there it is.
Here's the patrol trooper bucket.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the inconsistencies, well, and some 3D problems. You can see from the muzzle here. Can you see my pointer?
I can.
Okay, you can see where the model breaks next to the Scout. That would have to be backed. These aerators are wrong, so you'd have to replace the tips on them. The vents on the side are kind of fuzzy, like they're kind of soft. They're supposed to be pretty crisp. That's not a deal breaker though. The gills on the nose would have to be cut out. These little squares here would have to be cut through because they have a mesh backing behind them. Ears and all this is totally fine. The detail here is good. It's a little narrow. As you can see, people tend to build helmets when they do models. They tend to make these things narrower. The original TK is kind of goofy. Like these jowls on the side are a lot bigger than you think they are, and people tend to keep pulling them in or more when they make models, and it's like it's kind of a goofy look, and it's a little too narrow. And the other main thing here is you can see on the top up here, this shield is supposed to be 2 pieces. So there is a gap that will run across the back of this, and it's got to be, I mean, it's not going to be a deal breaker, but you're probably going to have to cut some sort of gap into that so that it looks like it's 2 pieces and not one flush piece sitting against
Dremel it.
Yeah. It's missing some of the minor detailed things like under here.
That shore trooper type.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me pull up. I've got another one I can pull up and you can see. Let me see here. I think this is one of them.
But yeah, a lot of people go too narrow on the patrol trooper helmet, and it has this weird flare to it. The actual helmet.
Here we go. So this one is a little fatter.
Yeah.
You can kind of
Yeah, that looks much better.
You can see the detail bits under here, underneath the visor. Again, those aren't deal breaker things, but when you're really getting into the nitty gritty of this, those are the kind of things that are there that people don't tend to remember.
Is that blast shield a separate piece in that?
Yes.
So whose helmet is this?
This one is. This one is this.
Is that Troy's?
This might be Troy's, or this might be, I think this one might be the one that I modified. So this was based on, oh God, whose was it?
Who did?
Elaine's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I modified Elaine's to correct some of the issues.
Right.
Yeah, Troy's I have models of, but you'd have to buy a finished helmet from Troy. Like he doesn't sell models.
Right.
Oops, sorry, that was not what I meant to do.
That was horrifying.
Yeah, I imported an image into the model builder. That's Troy's.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah.
And mine still looks like that too.
Yeah. Mine is getting painted right now. It's got to be done by the end of April.
Oh, I gotta hurry up then.
Yeah. but this model is a little bit better. Nico's is okay, but it's definitely going to take some work to finish out some of the little detail bits. But it would be approvable still.
I don't want just approvable. So I mean, if I'm going to do it, I don't want to I'm learning that I don't want to just do it and then realize later that I want to get better than what I have. So I might as well just go with the best out of the gate. So I may ask some more questions later. I'm far from getting to that point. I got to do this short trooper, and now that you guys have told me that I probably need to start doing PTEG, I think I'm probably gonna have to kind of go back to the drawing board on a few things.
Couple steps back.
Yeah, I've never printed with that, but I've heard folks say that it's a little different dialing it in.
It is.
It is.
It takes some trial and error. It's a lot. PLA is great because you can, it's just good to go out the gate. There's not a whole lot you need to do, but with PETG, you really have to play around with it and adjust settings and print a bunch of temp towers and benchies.
On that note, though, PETG is easier to post-process. Sanding is easier than PLA.
That is true.
So once you do get your printer dialed in, you'll be happier with the prints once they come off the bed.
That is true.
Is that because PETG is a harder material?
Yeah, when you sand PLA, you get into it too much, like it can actually melt too when you get like really it because it just gets hot very quickly.
Yeah.
PETG doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's good stuff once you get it dialed in. It does take some patience, and you're gonna be banging your head against the wall and cursing your printer, but once you get it, you'll see it's the way to go.
I had to stop my printer the last couple of days because 110, 115 degree in my garage. I kept clogging the nozzle every time because it's just too damn hot, and I'm like, I'm not messing with these settings. I'm just not going to print for a few days.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's been really hot here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily over here, extreme heat's not an issue. So we get extreme wet. So I have to for waterproofing. But no, the only thing that's bugging me, obviously, the questions that have been getting the answers to, it's the bit that I weirdly obsess about is the boot drop on the scout boot for the holster. But recommendations for, is it better to do strap, Velcro, both? I know Corey and Pete have helped me a lot with options, a bit of both. And the laces is another thing that bugs me.
My big advice about the boot is the blaster. Just get a very light blaster to troop with. Like I have the rubber DVH blaster and I love it. It's my favorite blaster. It never leaves my house. I have a 3D printed blaster that weighs like half an ounce or something, and that thing sits in my boot. I don't even know it's there half the time, and there's no boot droop, and it's very comfortable to troop in. I mean, you can do the, there's
it's just I'm not sure what type of blaster coming from chefs, whether what he makes his out of. So
yeah, it's probably a little heavy. You can put like an elastic ring inside of your boot that's like sewn to the inside of it to keep it up. But I don't know, my legs are kind of thick, so anything like that just makes it even harder for me to put my boot on. So I removed, I think it was in my Crow Props boot. I just took that thing out. And I use a 3D printed blaster. A lot of events we're not even allowed to carry blasters anymore, so it's not even that much of an issue. Most of the time, the blaster doesn't even.
It's like a firearms legislation thing over there, because over there that's not an issue at all.
Sure, but here we have maniacs that show up to conventions and actually shoot people. So you have there's a little more of a safety issue.
Yeah.
Or if you actually can have one, like the weapons check line is like 2 hours long, and I'm like, why do I want to wait for this thing that's this big? I'm like, in the bin it goes.
And then they wrap like a big pink zip tie around it.
Right, so you can't take photos with it. Little kids try to steal it from you all the time. It rarely leaves my bin.
And Mickey's right. I already lost one DVH, and I was lucky enough to get a second before he stopped making them.
Do we know where his? Corey, did Corey disappear?
No, I'm here.
Do you know where his blasters ended up? Who got them?
No, Dennis said he knew. I don't think the person who has them has like piped up yet with like making them available. I mean, I could probably bug Lou and see if he'll tell me, but like I don't know. And it hasn't, no one publicly has said that they're doing the Lou's blasters now. So
Yeah, nobody's-
unknown.
Okay.
I could probably find an alternative. So what I'll probably do is when I get everything over, try it. If it droops, then see if I can source an alternative and then go from there. I'm just trying to sew everything up so that when I get it, it's a case of right.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. And it's slightly seems the thing of because like if I want to do it, I want to do it right. I don't like doing stuff half-assed.
Sure.
Like, if I'm gonna do it, do it properly, do it right.
That's what we like to hear.
First time, so
Plus, I mean, the complication is, you know, if you can find a UK vendor that sells one that you like, because you know, it's like even if Lou was making them, you know, sending it from the US to the UK, I'm like, is it going to get confiscated or not?
Right.
No,
You know,
I found a couple of
make it through
people
customs.
there's a couple of people in the ISG have got printers, and failing that, I've got a guy that I've like the Mando make stuff. He done some of the DLC 20s and stuff like that people have used.
If
So
you
it's
could get a
still
3D
serious.
printed blaster for trooping, I would do that.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
looking at him, I love it with him because I know he does them. You got
have
really
your
good
rubber
models. of 'em.
blaster for photos and approvals and all that stuff, But if you can get a 3D one for trooping, especially one that they put a magnet in, that makes it even better because then you can hide a magnet inside your boot and they'll. Yeah,
well, that's one of the things I was looking at because it's one of the things that Dennis did on his JFO one was the greebly on the gloves. I thought that should be good chick if you could do that on your boot as well.
Yeah,
they still the same material, just do that, and then do like that. And obviously, because I was going to be the long rifle, I was going to be 3D printed anyway. So for two birds, one stone, then getting them all done like that, and yeah, it's just soaking up the info and annoying people with questions.
Not at all.
We signed up to be annoyed with.
Yeah, no, it's great. The amount of bookmarks I've got is unreal.
That reminds me, I have a question in regards to blasters. What's the Pathfinder stance on blast effects?
None. No effects. No lights. No. The blasters weren't, really detailed as much as some makers want, with like completely drilled out scopes and glass, and all that other stuff in the back. Like they for the most part, they were pretty plain because you didn't really see many close-ups of them. So, no lights, no sound effects, no working, no trigger. So that rules out those old Kenner ones. Really, you don't have to get too complicated with it. We have the specs on the CRL as far as the blaster goes, but I mean, even the barrel in the front should not be drilled out for the most part. I think there was one. There was one
shot with the Hero blaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, there were two blasters. Both of them were basically gigantic chunks of resin.
Right.
Like Mickey said, they weren't like super technically advanced or anything like that. It was a chunk of resin, and most of them were quote stunt in that the scope wasn't drilled. There is one with the guy who grabbed Leia, who had the scope had a drill point in the front, and that's the only difference.
Yeah.
But the other ones were all, but there wasn't like any displays or lights or anything like that.
And that guy's like, I mean, he's like the hero scout for the movie, pretty much. I mean, his costume is one of the most on point ones that you see in the movie. That's not like being held together by tape.
Is that why you get like all the discussions for the visor gaps? Well, and it looked like, well, some were glued, some were meant to be permanently welded shut, and some weren't. Is that what causes sort of confusion for that as well?
That's something different. So the there's two helmets. There's a stunt helmet, and then there's basically the helmet that everyone wore for the sort of nice scenes.
Yeah.
This costume was designed for basically to be a flexible stunt costume as well. So like when you see the guys getting thrown into trees or off the bikes and stuff like that, that was actually like a crash helmet. So that helmet is what was called the stunt helmet. It looks a little different. It was cast. It's one piece. It's a big piece. Like it doesn't have the visor that comes up. That is not
polyurethane or something.
Yeah. There's a photo of it, I think the inside in the costumes book, and it has like a hard hat in it or something like that. It's like a crash helmet.
Yeah.
That is not spec'd out in the CRL. So what
I'm
our
just curious because I've seen people
sure.
bring it up. I mean, it's not bothering me. At the end of the day, it's
So
read your replies. They go, well,
yeah,
this is what it is, and this is why. It's just is that the sort of thing, case of like because of the ambiguity.
It's caused some confusion when people are trying to build their scout helmets, because they'll look at like there's one particular scene from the side in the speeder bike chase where the gap on between the faceplate and the side is like perfect, and it's perfect because it doesn't open.
Right.
But that got translated into people thinking like they'll get their helmets or they get their helmet from RS or something, and they're like, oh, I have to completely remove this gap from the side, and that's not true, because that's right, Pete. Like because like if you look at other photos of the not stunt helmet, the one that like the RS group has, that example, there's huge gaps in it. It's kind of like flopping open a little bit, and that's okay. But that's where that confusion came from, because people looked at the side of the stunt helmet, which was welded closed basically, and were like, oh, I have to make my side gap look like that, which is not correct.
Eliminate that gap.
Yeah. You don't need to.
And it's nothing in the CRL. I mean, it's not even in level 2. It's not a concern.
Yeah, it's just that, and then working out, is it worth getting what you do with the laces? That's another thing that's thrown me a little bit. They'll get a slightly smaller boot. So the boot laces for the scout.
I think that all
smaller boot so it compresses on.
I mean,
the laces, or you do like the.
If you look at the actual scout boots, the problem with the boots, I think, is that for going on like 2 decades now, people have been making boots out of hiking boots, and they're used to the boot looking a certain way. If you look at the actual boots in the movie, I mean, you can tell the Sierras are like sneakers.
Yeah.
And the leather is very bumpy over top of the front of the boot, and you can see the laces almost like through it. It's not like nice, neat hump like we all get on our hiking boots. So I'm not like super. I kind of like the Scout to look a little rough and junky, like in the movie.
Lived in it. It's more like
people get too neat with them, and I'm like,
tie them or not.
You're putting too much emphasis on stuff that doesn't matter.
No, it's more like, do you tie the laces or just like leave them dangling? And
I always leave them dangling.
That's what I meant to get at. Sorry.
No, I find it too difficult to tie them, and the upper holds it to my foot just fine.
It's enough just to get into your boots to begin with. So you're gonna when you suit, you're gonna suit your flight suit on first. Okay. And then the next thing it's going to go on are going to be your knees, because you're not going to get your knees over your boots.
Right.
So unless
I have done it before when I forgot.
Well, yeah.
Made that mistake.
Unless you're going to, half your strapping on your knees. So you're going to have your knees on, and then you're going to put your boots on. And that's enough of a pain, with your knees already on, trying to get into your boots and then trying to keep your flight suit nice and tight.
Yeah.
So I think it's all a matter of preference. I'm like Mickey. I don't lace a thing. So in my boots fit my foot just fine.
Right.
So the only thing I'm doing is velcroing, just velcroing up the back of the boot. And I haven't had any trouble with my feet, anything like that. So I think it's all a matter of preference. Some people use like those shoelace zip, shoelace zips.
Speed laces.
Speed laces.
Thank you. Yeah. So and it like pinches the lace. I mean, it's all preference. So you want to do,
Yeah.
again, we are all about making sure your feet are comfortable, because when you're on a, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, hour troop, the last thing you want is, getting back to go kit down and, your feet are screaming. So
Yeah, I know.
Especially if you're doing a
I got
parade
these here.
4 miles long.
Can
Oh, yeah, look at
Yeah, that's what I was looking
just
at.
push the laces or pull the laces and then fix it a little bit. So no need to put a tie in it. Is it a tie? Don't know the word.
Yeah, that's that's what I was looking at. I don't know what I do. But like I told Pete in the past, I spent up until I moved to Edinburgh my entire life in manufacturing. So keeping my feet straight in sort of like hiking boots, safety shoes is thingy. I've been on the wrong end of a 12-hour shift and my feet have been absolutely crying.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If I can stop them slipping around, then something like that would be ideal. Yeah.
And everybody's needs are different too. Your boots might fit on your foot a little looser than mine do. Like I said, I have huge, wide feet, so they tend to hold the boot in place pretty well on their own.
I'd rather have them tight and
different.
secure and not slip about.
I'd say, Matt, once because I've seen some of your questions on the forum about certain things, and I would just say, wait till you get your kit and you've trooped in it once or twice and really gotten a feel for it, and see like what your particular needs are, before you invest in fans and speed laces and all the other stuff. Like the Scout kit is made to be comfortable. It's made to be flexible. It was made because they needed a trooper that could do stunts in the movie. So, you're going to want to not be too buttoned up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
we can mock the TKs relentlessly because we can.
Exactly. You want to be able to sit down in front of people and show them how much more comfortable you are and make them feel bad for the costume that they chose. So
exactly.
Yeah, you could be like a rebel.
That was what I was going to ask as well. How flexible is movement in Scout Trooper uniform? Because I've been hearing horror stories.
Played Twister in my Scout Trooper before. I have pictures of me playing Twister. Yeah, you can do just about anything in the Scout. You have to watch out for the hump when you sit back, and the thermal detonator. And the other thing you have to be careful is your boot holster. So just make sure it doesn't bang up against something when you're running by or something.
Boot holster catches on things.
Yeah, the boot holster catches on things, and the back hump can be a pain if you're trying to like lean back on something. But
yeah, and watch out for stormtroopers, because I have more scuffs on my tank from stormtroopers than I think any other trooper.
That's why mine's weathered, so that because I knew things would happen. I knew I'm like run into things. The first troop I did, I actually got some scrapes from a tree, but it's just more weathering.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You don't have to worry about scratches and scrapes. It adds to the character, and a lot of that stuff you can't even see in photos. You have to make your armor intentionally dirty for it to even show up.
Right.
But yeah, you'll be plenty comfortable in a Scout. Your biggest problem is going to be all the layers. You might get hot because you got the flight suit, you got the vest, you got the cover. The things stack up, and if it's hot outside, you're going to sweat right through. I've been on troops where I've had to like peel myself out of the flight suit because it's just drenched.
That was Bakersfield a couple days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah.
Not
in
getting
here.
Heat exhaustion.
I'm sorry, real quick. I used to live in Rancho Cucamonga in Ontario, so I know the area.
Okay. Okay, we used to do a big troop out there, the Star Wars Reads Day troop, where we debuted the bike. Are they doing that one this year?
No, they pushed. Well, yes and no. They moved it to the stadium, and it's not at the library because they had to move the date because they wanted to do it the same time we're doing Celebration.
Oh, right. Duh.
Oof.
Yeah. So they had to move locations, and it's a smaller event this year because we're not going to be there on the day.
You're all going to be at Celebration.
Yeah. So next year it'll be full size probably again, but this year it's.
So that's a fun event in Rancho. I met Gary Whitta, the writer for Rogue One, there at that Star Wars Reads Day. He said the Biker Scout was his favorite. So I said, why aren't they in Rogue One?
Exactly.
Right?
And he said, hey, it was out of our hands, you know.
Yeah. I put the snout in there.
But he said, Gary Whitta told me the Biker Scout was his favorite. Gareth Edwards is on the record saying the Biker Scout is his favorite. I can't help but think the Shore Trooper has something to do with that. You know, you got two guys, you know, in the lead production roles that both say the Scout's their favorite trooper. And we get the Shore Trooper in the same movie. So coincidence? I don't think so.
With the weather over here, lays are going to be good.
What's that?
With the weather over here, lays are going to be good.
Those gloves are super warm, man. Like your hands will never be cold.
The Scout gloves?
Oh yeah.
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 The free ones especially.
The Wampaware also have little inserts where you can put like hot hands into the top of the gloves too.
A lot of people with the Wampa wears, they just take the linings out.
Yeah, I think it was the Wampaware ones I was looking at, so I'm just going to keep the liners in, see what the score is. If it's warm, yank it, and then get the hand warmers.
The Wampa wears are great. Get them.
They're comfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
They're great gloves. If I didn't have the Esprits, I would wear the Wampa wears. I've put them side by side with the Esprit gloves, and they match up pretty well.
Yeah, so for me now it's just getting all the funds together, and then once that's done, I've started to get what I can get. So the balaclava's sorted, the gloves are going to be next, and then because everything else is all coming from Chef, it's just getting all that money. And then I had a bit of a nightmare when I saw his sizing chart because it's ridiculously detailed, but that's a good thing because the more measurements they can get, the more tailored it's going to be. So I'm ridiculously excited, looking forward to it, and
great.
Can't wait to get it all done.
Yeah, the nice thing about Rob is that he's very meticulous, so make sure you hit all those measurements. So
yeah, we've had a bit of an email chat about it, so we're both on the same page as to what he would need off me, which is probably more important than the other way around, because I know what I'm going to get off him. No, so it's more of how can I make his job easier, because the more I do that, the better it's going to be for me when I get everything.
Yeah.
If I can suggest something, with his list of measurements, if you haven't done it already, or if you're not around someone like who's very experienced in getting those measurements, you can go to a tailor, and sometimes they'll charge you like I don't know, $35 US. I don't know what it would be in pounds, but and basically you give them the measurements sheet, which his sheet will say like this is how you measure the shoulders from the waist to the neck, etc. If you give it to a tailor and they'll charge you a very small fee for it, they'll take all your measurements and write them down. And that will actually make sure that whatever you give to Chef is absolutely going to be correct. Because I mean, I've tried to do that stuff by myself or with my wife, and it's like, I think it's right, and if you give it to a tailor,
there's one about 10-15 minutes away, so that's not a problem at all. So
Definitely,
that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, do it.
I'll definitely do that rather than get me girlfriend.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chop, because that's what I did when he made my vest. So that's exactly what I did when he made my vest, and it's absolutely perfect because he does things like take the flight suit into account. So you're not just getting a body measurement, he's got the flight suit on top because everything's going to be, just a little bit larger. So you'll have your flight suit, then your vest on top, then your bund on top. So all those things have to be, dimensionally correct for the layers that are underneath. So
yeah, he mentions that on the sheet. Don't allow wiggle room. Get it specific because obviously he then takes that all into that account. So
exactly.
No, that's a great suggestion. I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
That was a good point, Chopper.
And actually, going off what you were
Twister.
saying about the flight suits, should I wait to get my armor and start trimming it until I have the soft parts underneath, so I know how it's going to fit over that?
I think you can do a general sort of start, like don't cut your shoulder belt too short, or your shoulder belt and bicep are usually the ones that need the most attention, just depending on how tall you are and what your overall build is. You can get a head start and you can fine tune once you get your soft parts and you see how things, especially the vest, you're going to want to make sure your bell and your vest sleeves are kind of working together. But I mean, you can get started. You don't have to, completely wait till you've gotten everything.
Because I know Dark Side Closet for their stuff still has like a 6-month lead time. So
yeah, no, I wouldn't wait that long.
Yeah. And you can always do things like your forearms, your knees, because you're only wearing one layer, right? At least flight suit related. Mickey's dead on with the bells, because the bells are that's gonna be dependent on where your vest sleeve drops.
And more often than not, you're changing the sleeve, not the bell.
Right.
So no, I would get started. I would get in there and start building. That way, when your soft parts come in, then you can fine tune. But yeah, don't cut anything you're not gonna be able to put back.
Generally, you can just wear like a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And just start fitting stuff over that generally.
Exactly. Just wear things that are similar.
Yeah, like similar thickness.
The the flight suit's kind of like a twill. It's a little heavier.
I have a question for with my helmet. This is MLC helmet. I know this is not approvable for level 1 Lancer, right?
Hold it up.
MLC.
The MLC is not approvable for level 2.
Oh, Lancer, right? Okay.
Yeah.
If I going with this for level 1, should be approved.
It should be. I think your local GML, they might ask you. Does the MLC still have like the cut in vents around the nose area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we see the face?
Yeah, that's the face is where it all.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And then how about the top of the face plate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
right above. Actually, right
one.
above the visor. Is that cut in too?
There should be like 3.
There should be 3. Like three lines.
Is it cut?
It might not be.
If it's not, then yeah, you're fine.
I don't
see it.
I don't see it. Yeah.
I don't either. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would have a question on. Yeah, that looks okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fly past your GML, like Corey said. So reach out to your nearest and.
Oh, did you say you are the GML?
Oh well.
That's why.
No, it's okay.
Well, that's very honest of you to ask us. You could just say approved.
I think if you can just hold it up just one more time. I got you zoomed on the screen now. No, I think that's fine for level 1. I don't think that's an issue right there. What about the back with the vents on the back? What does that look like?
They're all
that looks okay.
Yeah.
I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and the trapezoids. Okay, yeah. The biggest thing on some of these helmets is I think on the MLC they used to have like actual vent slots on the nose and on the forehead, and that looks like that's gone now. Or if it's not, then maybe fill that in a little bit.
It's still hit there.
Right.
The vent is still there.
It doesn't go all the way through though.
Yeah, it's not.
You can
But
just
it's like a dent, a little
slap
dent.
decal on it.
Yeah.
Just a little putty will probably fix that.
Yeah.
This and this ridge also.
Well,
I
you
have
won't.
to,
You won't.
Well,
you
the
won't.
snout
You
piece-
won't see that probably.
No. I have the 3D print from Mr. Poopy, right? It's it's that's sit nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah, that looks fine.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that looks fine for level 1. Yeah, no
Level
problem.
1, okay.
Yeah.
So I have another question for this is a crop circle helmet. Is there any different with the back and the front what you call curve, or is the same? Because I totally put backward. This is the front.
Right.
This is the back.
Gotcha.
I don't think so.
No,
but-
that one's like almost like a perfect oval shape. That one.
Yeah.
That looks okay.
Yeah. I don't.
And I mean, if it's that there, I don't think so. And if it's that different, I mean, you can kind of trim the top of your visor shroud, the front piece. You know,
like
just
this one?
to, yeah, the top edge there.
one,
I
yeah.
mean, you can trim that so that it fits over. You know, when it goes up properly. But I don't. I mean, it doesn't look wrong when you show it from the top. It looks fine. So.
Because the original what you call the original man who purchased this is not the 501st, I think, because he actually trimmed the return edge. Because this one I have to make the return edge, new return edge. And is the Scorp circle side the visor one, this one is have the return edge or not?
On the crop circle.
Yeah, because I adding the
I haven't
the
had.
return edge myself with the ABS plate. You can see this one. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. Mickey, do you still have your old one?
Let me go look.
I mean, there's no reason you can't have that on there. I mean, as long as everything fits together when you put the visor on.
I know my Altman
This
has
one
it.
That's
I'm
a
adding
really
I'm adding
Yeah.
the return edge.
Yeah.
With 1 millimeter ABS plate.
Yeah. That looks awesome. The work you
That
did
looks
on that.
really good.
Yeah,
It looks really good.
I'm using this method from papercraft method.
Oh.
This one called the tab papercraft. Use this one like similar like this.
No, it's kind of flat. No return edge.
Oh, okay, I see.
But I mean, with the return edge might make it a little hard for it to pivot on that bolt. Especially if you use the 3M bolts, you need a little more room.
I don't have any 3M bolt, so I just have to the millimeter 6 millimeter. The type of the bolt.
Justin, you just modeled a set of bolts, didn't you?
Yeah.
That can be 3D printed.
Yeah. As long as they're going to be strong enough. That's the only proviso.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be snap right on.
I did make caps though, so if you want to use normal bolts, you can basically just glue a cap onto a normal
Okay.
bolt. Because a lot of people
Oh.
in outside of the US were having trouble finding those the proper elevator bolts. And so
Mhm.
if you want to just put a head on it.
But not like this one. This is a crop circle.
No, you
No.
take that one and put it in the trash.
Yeah.
You don't need that one at all. You can put it under your furniture.
Yeah.
For that.
Under the
Make it easier to slide around the house.
Yeah.
table feet.
Yeah, I think with
Okay,
my
so-
original crop circle, I put cap over it because it was like riveted together or something.
Oh, okay, I see.
I'll put a link up in just a second. Somebody had a question about a shore trooper belt or belt buckle.
Yeah, that was me. Just trying to wait my turn and not interrupt.
No. Go ahead. Interrupt. What's up?
No, honestly, so I've been working on Sean's files, which we all know require quite a bit of modifications. And specifically with his the squad leader, the belt buckle is the siding is pretty much totally wrong. So what I did is pretty much I got a little guy right here. Kind of took the side itself, used a Dremel, pretty much removed it and then kind of moved it up because there's like a cylindrical piece that kind of comes underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still working on trying to find a good way to jury rig that. But what I'm having issues from looking at the pictures is kind of right behind the cylindrical piece, which kind of goes straight down, impromptu screw, kind of like right there. I'm not sure if there's like a little backing that kind of, squares off the section there or not. And it seems like in some of the pictures we're looking at, it looks like there might be, but I'm not entirely certain if it's just like, hey, there is like a little backing that goes behind it, or if it's just kind of like the little cylindrical section kind of as is.
Squad leader is not my. I have the captain, and it's got the different belt. Is Minimo on? He might know that buckle better than I mean, I suspect it's just one molded piece for real and doesn't actually have any moving parts on it at all for the film. But
and this thing, I'm just not sure if there's like that's kind of squared off there, so it's almost like a backing to it. Because it's easy for me to do that just as far as taking part of like a raft and just kind of square it up behind the cylindrical piece that comes. Just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
I'm on the same boat with you, Mickey. I'm not overly familiar with the
we're not squad leaders
with the squad leader, but I'll do a little bit of research and I'll get back to you with my opinion, I guess, on it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, like the hard thing is just since it's such like a super small detail, every picture I've been looking at, like it's really hard. So when I look at it, it's like, well, it looks like there's a bit of that Sierra beige right there, and it looks like it's squared off. It's like, again, because it's so small, and let's face it, it's not a big focal point, it's really hard to see. So.
I mean, my gut is telling me you might be overthinking it a little bit, but we'll check into it and look. Like I said, I suspect there's no moving part there at all, and it's probably just one molded piece. But I can look at my photos from the LA Auto Show from 2016. Have you seen my pictures from there? I know they were kind of circulating around. I have them on my Facebook page, but I made it public, so I know people have shared. And there's squad leader photos in there.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I was looking at the ones that we have on Shore Trooper Family, as far as those ones. And again, there's not a real good angle on it. I'll be honest, in the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter. I just don't want it to be one of those things that kind of get nitpicked later on. I was like, oh, if only I'd added that.
I mean, for level 1 approval, no, it's not going to be nitpicked because your approval photos are front, back, and sides. No one's going to. Well, here's a. Let me. You know what? Let me post this in the chat, and you can take a look and see if any of these photos help you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You might. I know you may have seen these already because, like I said, I have posted them up in Shore Trooper Fam, and it is a public folder, and they have been going around for a couple of years now. So I just posted it in the chat, the link to my LA Auto Show, 2016 LA Auto Show album. You can take a look and see what you think. See if any of those help.
Mickey, who was the blonde that did? I think didn't she do a squad leader a couple like last year or something? She just did a phenomenal job. I can't remember who that was.
Was it Cricket?
Yeah, Cricket. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
If you reach out to her, she'd probably be able. She had really detailed costumes, so she might have an answer for you, Chris.
That was Cricket.
No, I appreciate that. I do actually have a couple of screenshotted pictures of Cricket front and back. And that's the thing too. It's like, it looks kind of it. So that's the thing. It's just like so much on the fence. Like, I don't know or not, but no, I'll definitely try to reach out to her.
What kit did she have? I don't remember. Did she 3D print it?
That was Mr. Paul.
Yeah, she did Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul. Okay. And Mr. Paul doesn't make files for the belt pieces. I believe he sells those, right?
He does.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, like obviously the back recess boxes, the belts. I actually got my shoulder straps and the straps for my greaves from him, because like I'm not even remotely touching that, trying to craft it. It's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you've never reached out directly to Cricket, she's super awesome. She'll respond quickly and always willing to give you as much information as you need.
But I can tell you that one little detail is not going to hold you up from L1. And if it does, send the GML my way.
Appreciate that. I'm super excited because I'm getting really close now. Like the belt's like the last thing I got to finish modding, because I just got done with all the things on the back. So I just need to finish smoothing that out and get it painted.
Gotcha. Anybody else? Questions?
Yeah, I was trying to look for sets of armor. I know the first thing I noticed was the Moncal armor, but I've also seen other sellers on Etsy right now, like such as this. I don't know if this would be okay, because I've been hearing complaints from people saying it's a bit tight on them depending on their build and stuff like that.
That one is no.
No,
I can tell you right now, because the tank and the back are one piece.
That's got to be a recast.
Yeah, it looks. That Moncal is an approved vendor. They make a great kit. As far as accuracy, they are in the upper half, definitely. So if you can get yourself a Moncal, I would do that.
Yeah.
Someone's selling one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. We know somebody that's selling one, actually.
Yeah, the only concern I have is the upper arm bit right here, because I know you guys listed in CRL that there's supposed to be a black T-band there, and I hadn't noticed that in the listing I saw on Etsy for that right here, the Moncal armor, I mean. So I wasn't sure how they were able to get it on there or anything like that.
What piece are you referring to?
The T-bit?
Yeah,
on the it's just a greebly that
it's in the bag. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so you just attach it onto the
You just glue it.
Yeah, it's glue. Glue it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
With E600, right? The glue.
E6000.
E6000 will work. Yeah.
And if you have any questions, Cal's great. He gets back to you real quick too. I mean, if you just send him a post on or a something on Messenger, with Facebook, he gets back to you right away, probably within a day. He'll answer any of the questions you have.
Yeah, Cal's one of our top vendors. He comes on the forum every now and then. He's got a great kit. As far as accuracy, amongst the US vendors, I'd say he's number one.
Isn't his kits pretty small though?
That's right. The one thing about the Cal kit versus say Studio Creations is it's really made for people who are like medium to smaller builds. So if you're a 6'4", 240 pounds, don't get the Cal kit. That there's other options out there for that. But if you're 5'8", 5'10", probably up to 175 pounds, maybe. I'm doing this off the top of my head. This is not strict by any case. The Cal kit will fit you just fine.
Yeah, because I'm 5'11". Last I checked, I was 168 pounds, I think.
think you'd probably be fine
think you'd
in a
be
Cal
fine.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
fit
And
the
the
Calico
armor
right.
size is so, the Scout is such a, I don't know, it's I don't find it as important as some other things, but like your soft goods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armor just kind of, straps on in place. It's highly adjustable. It's not supposed to be as big as some people make it out to be. Like I said, I've always said the chest armor is a misnomer. It should be called the Scout bra. That's the way it's supposed to fit you. It should stop at your pectorals and not go much further down. So I think people tend to overemphasize the size of the armor when, remember, you're supposed to be able to play Twister in this kit.
I mean, it doesn't go backwards though. I mean, there's some of the bigger armor vendors, and I've seen people who are like 5'5" wearing those kits, and that definitely doesn't work.
No, yeah, I've seen some unfortunate Walt Trooper Factory armors on very short people, and it doesn't work. Yeah.
I got a nice shot in my trooping log of the three of us playing. What is it? Twister.
Yeah.
You can verify that.
Totally. I posted a photo of me doing it from a couple of years back.
Hey, Dennis, nice finally meet you, man.
Same here, man.
As for soft gear, I've looked through the approved vendors, and I noticed you guys mentioned that Krypton Top has had some complaints about late arrivals or something like that. I don't know if they've improved over time though.
Yeah, I mean, that is an old issue, and I don't even know if we should still have it on there anymore. He was having issues, I'd say 2015, 2016. His business model has changed a lot since then, and his shipping has definitely improved. From what I understand, at least people that go through his Etsy page, nothing but good things. My original vest was from him, and it was good quality. It lasted me several years.
That's something. Yeah, that sounds reassuring because I've looked at Imperial boots. It looks interesting because it offers more, but I've also noticed they do stuff in waves. It looks like.
Yeah.
They're. You can hear the hemming and hawing. Imperial boots.
There's. I mean, I guess it really depends what you want. Their sizing can be a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you're kind of on the taller side. I mean, I wear I'm talking about like an X-wing coveralls here, but I'm 5'8", 5'9", about 153 pounds, and I got a size small from Imperial Boots for the coveralls. And it was made, width wise, it was fine. It was made for someone who was like probably 6'2". So it was like a size small, super long. So their sizing can sometimes be a little bit weird depending on what your build is. And in terms of the Scout soft goods, I mean, if you're only going basic approval, I think it's mostly fine. But there's better vendors out there, is particularly for the Scout goods. You already mentioned Krypton, and the Imperial boot stuff is not made to your size. They just do like, small, medium, large. And but you already brought up Krypton Top. He'll send you a size sheet, and you'll go get your measurements done, and you send it back, and you're going to get something that's better sized to you. So what my Scout soft gear is mostly Krypton Top, along with some stuff I made myself. And again, as long as you pretty much pick FedEx shipping, it's gonna get.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, and I somewhere recently I heard that someone said he only does FedEx shipping now, which is probably good on him. But
I think it's avoided most of his shipping issues.
Yeah, pay for the FedEx, and it'll come in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not sure what the pandemic's done to his backlog, but but yeah, I mean, I mean, it's the end goal is up to you, but you know, I'm thinking Krypton Top will probably get you something that fits you better. So.
Yeah, that actually sounds good. So Krypton Top might be a better choice then.
I am 6.1, 6.2 for total. And I have a kit from RS Props. They use Imperial boots from soft part, and I am. My size is M for Imperial.
Okay.
Imperial boot. Okay.
Yeah, this is a.
And I'm skinny. And I'm a skinny guy.
calculation. It fits me.
Yeah.
That's Cal's kit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's for Nguyen, right? Nguyen, maybe you posture body is the same like me.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I actually have I have a Moncal kit that's still in the box. I need to post a for sale thread. I'll probably do that today or something. If you're looking to buy one.
And that's sitting right next to your RS kit, right?
Yep. It's over there.
That's another question as well. Is the Moncal kit just one size then, or
the hard parts? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and most armors are.
Yeah.
They're all one size. From the from SC is one size. They don't.
It's
they don't size
difficult
them.
for them to make different
Hard armor.
box for sizes and.
Yeah.
I've got Moncal's flight suit, and I've had it for years. I've been trooping about 3 or 4 years. You had to heavily modify it to be able to get it to be the Scout. You took off a lot of pockets, but honestly, like it's a great suit. It's got double zippers, which is really beneficial for us. But no, I recommend Moncal's flight suits. They're pretty good. He does a good job.
Where are you located, On?
Baldwin Park, California, so right next to the Ren Fair.
Oh, okay. I mean, right here in California, we got Chris Ruiz. He's in Pomona.
Yeah, that's not too far.
That's where I get a lot of my soft goods from.
Yeah, he made. Is that? Yeah, that's Chris X909X.
X909X. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, he does my boots.
Yeah, he makes boots. I think he does everything. All soft parts.
Yeah, I just got a second pair of boots from him.
Yeah.
Wait, so Chris 909?
Chris X909X.
909X.
He's listed on the I think he's on the vendor.
Yeah. Yeah, you can reach out to him. He's good people.
I'm pretty close to Pomona. I just need to take the 10. So would it be possible to just get it in person or?
Probably. Last time I had to
Cheaper
get
than
something from him, I drove to his house and picked it up.
Yeah.
I live in Burbank.
All right.
I picked up parts from him. I'm in Santa Ana in Orange County. Yeah.
I should need to go and grab some dinner. So if you're still here, I'll come back in a bit. And if not, I'll catch you again next time. So thanks,
all right, man.
Thanks
Great
for everything.
seeing you.
Great seeing you, Matt.
Soon.
Cheers,
mate. Cheers. Bye. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can work with Chris, you can't beat local.
Yeah.
Especially if you need like tailoring or, if he needs to size you up for a flight suit and you're standing right there in front of him, makes it a lot easier.
You're right.
And his prices are very, very competitive. He's not going to overcharge you. So I would reach out to Chris.
Yeah, I mean, this is my second pair of boots from him. So I really like them, and I like his work.
Yeah. So if you need any help getting in touch with him, just let me know and we can make it happen.
Yeah, I think I might consider that maybe compared to getting Krypton Top, especially if he's local. Well, it might make it a lot more cheaper and easier for me, I think.
Yeah, it'll definitely save on shipping. So and yeah, he sounds like he's probably your best bet.
All right. I also had another question as well.
Go ahead.
What about for helmet modifications? Because I was wondering if it's possible for me to set up something like an audio system for me to be able to speak through. I've already put it up in the chat. I don't know if anyone does that in the 501st or.
No, a lot of people do.
Okay.
A lot of people do. I don't have anything. I used to use a speaker, but I just didn't like the way it made my pouch sag, so I stopped doing it. But Dennis, I think you use the
I use the
helmet system.
AS wrap, the one that you posted there on. It's a good system.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good. Matter of fact, I was doing some recording work today, and I'll just actually had the helmet here because I was just working on it. But you can see right here the audio. Well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it goes right in there. It hooks up right in there, the back of the helmet, right, and then the speakers right here on this part, right. So it's a good system. It's nice and streamlined. And then he just gives you an earpiece, which varies. Sometimes he has the boom, and then sometimes he just has the side ear. Everything just gets hooked up in the helmet. There's no hanging wires or anything. So it's a good system. I use it all the time.
Okay.
So is it interchangeable?
Interchangeable in what way?
Yeah, to use it in a TD helmet? Because he offers the Hovitip mics or Hovitip speakers. So can you just switch the battery pack with the speaker with the whole electronics?
Yeah, I would imagine you could. So it's really this part here, which is just Velcroed in.
Little black box light.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the system.
Yeah.
So anything that hooks up to it, I mean, you're just plugging the speaker in. So if you have if you have the system already for a TK, then just all you need is this part here.
Yeah.
That TK set, and you're just getting a new mic and a new earpiece. And I think if you reach out to him via Etsy, he'll sell that to you, because I had to replace my speaker. I blew my speaker out, and it was $10 to replace it.
In my case, unfortunately, I don't have space inside the helmet because this version has padding in. So in my first trooping, I use a hair micro. I don't know who you say in English.
Yeah, the head microphone. Yeah, I used to use something like that.
And back in the chest, I have the Acre.
Mm-hmm.
But now in this con, I make a little change with this micro.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So the cable falls down behind me.
Very
and
cool.
I use in the shoulder belt, sorry, and putting the anchor behind my chest plate. So you can only you see a small piece of cable, but it's very light for the helmet.
I have a wireless.
A lot of people use Bluetooth.
Yeah, I have a cheap little $20 wireless mic. Sorry, I can't find it. And yeah, there's the mic just velcros in inside, and then the other piece is on the speaker. My speaker's actually in my pouch, but you can easily put it back behind the chest. Like it would all fit back there. And I don't get crosstalk. I've never had feedback or anything. I mean, I get feedback if I stick it next to my speaker, but there's no crosstalk with anybody else or anything like that. And that thing was $22 or something like that, and it's lasted 5 years at this point.
There's a lot of scouts in my garrison that do that with the wireless too, and they just keep the speaker in the pouch, and it works well. It's a good system. It's a good setup.
As long as you remember to charge, because that thing probably only has about a maybe 8-hour charge on it. So I can usually do 2 troops, but after that, it'll just cut out in the middle.
I just don't talk on troops. That works great.
Pointing and gesturing.
Yeah, just pointing, saluting.
Pointing and grunting.
The system mic is awkward, right? The handle name, the guy who's built the system, awkward.
Ooks, right? What was it?
What is the one with the snout one? The snout mic?
Yeah.
UK's Wrath. What's
awkward?
UKS Wrath.
UKS Wrath. I thought he was located in the UK, but he's in the US, right?
Yeah. So
I just bought the kit today, so.
Yeah, he it's not too hard to find that one. He posts up in a lot of places.
Yeah.
It's a popular kit.
If you like electronics, you can do it yourself with TK Talkie. I did a TK Talkie for my TD, but well, I like the chance of having all inside the helmet because well, it was my first troop and I had the wires running down the chest armor, and then the wires slipped out the chest armor all the time, so it killed the illusion.
Yeah, I think when I used to carry a speaker, I actually like put a hole in the back of my pouch so the wire could go in there and it wouldn't be seen from the outside.
As for helmets, Altman or Moncal, which would be better?
Helmets for big-headed people like myself.
I mean, the Altman helmet. I mean, I started with an Altman helmet myself. It's you know, you don't have to have a huge dome to have it look okay. And when I started, the sort of the combo of choice was the Altman helmet with the SC armor. Altman versus Moncal, advantages and disadvantages there. The Moncal helmet looks amazing. You can put it right next to the RS and it's like 98% of the RS. The difference being that, you know, the way that Cal does his is the back portion of the Scout helmet is rotocast. So it's going to be a little heavy. And you know, he's just basically got like two wing nut bolts that attaches the front ABS portion to the back. I don't think he offers them finished. I think you'd have to finish it or get a friend to finish it for you. He just does kits. If the end result of the Cal kit, maybe a little heavy. Remember, it's rotocast, but it looks really, really nice. Altman, it's going to be shipped from Australia, so you'll pay a little bit for shipping. It's the same design that he's had since I want to say the early 2000s, so he hasn't like retooled or anything. It's still a really nice helmet. It is made of ABS. He does paint it and finish it for you. And I would say, you know, if RS is like 100%, I'd put the Altman at maybe like, I don't know, 85. Does that sound right, Mickey?
80.
Okay. It's still a really nice helmet.
Yeah.
It's going to be finished for you. It's going to be painted for you. But you know, I mean, that's sort of the differences there between the two. Both are going to be great helmets.
Yeah.
Just note those points for what you want and what you want to do. You know,
Altman's is level 2 approved out of the box still, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the overall shape. Moncal just nails it better. The Altman helmet's still great, it's still quality. I mean, it's like an embarrassment of riches. So you can't go wrong with either.
With an Altman, if he wants to show it again.
It's just that there's so many good things now out there that the scale has gotten a little, you know.
It's a little more squat.
Yeah, it's a little more squat. That's all.
And it's
the top
and broader. It's not that narrow.
Like really flat.
Yeah, exactly. That's all. It's not a bad helmet by any means. It's just that there's so many that are, you know, I mean, back in the day, it was like, can you get your hands on a lone wolf? And now, you know what I mean? And now you got the RS, now you got the EFX. Moncal has stepped up his game incredibly. There's just so many great ones out there now that the ones that are almost there, I just grade them a little bit lower. And it's not a knock against the Altman helmet, but like Corey said, he's kept the same design for close to 20 years now. And just over time, you know, other makers have jumped in there and pushed the accuracy to the extremes, which I love.
It's a good helmet for guys with big fat heads like mine. I love my Altmans.
You know, I mean, I have a big fat head. You know, I got a 60-centimeter dome right here. You know, and don't forget the RS props. The RS props helmet fits big domes very, very well.
I will say my face is long and I fit into this, and some of the other I wouldn't fit into an SC. My chin will stick out.
Same. SC, my chin sticks out of the SC.
The other problem I have is my Altman is, I mean, all the helmets are asymmetrical. None of them are perfect. And mine, that's as high as it goes. I cannot open it more because it'll crack back here.
That is a difficulty with the Altmans. You can't open up the lid completely.
I mean, that being said, I can still flip it up. I can still lift it like and get air in there. I just can't do the visor flip like everybody else does.
Right.
But it's a really comfortable helmet. And honestly, it was really nice. Of all the things I had to build, I didn't have to build this.
I'm muted. Sorry. The helmet is the most challenging thing to build of the Scout kit if you choose to do it yourself. The rest of it is usually pretty easy. The helmet, and especially if you have the 5-piece helmet, is the most challenging thing to build.
And it's everyone's main focus. Like nobody's gonna notice that your holster looks like crap or you've got a crack in your belt. They're gonna notice your helmet. Like they're gonna see it because that's the thing they're all staring at.
Right.
And it kind of looks like because I'm kind of looking at the Moncal helmet right now, it kind of looks like I need to get my own bolts as well, from what it looks like, I think.
Let me look really quickly. I'm in his Etsy shop right now, actually. Let's see. I don't think, I mean, I can't imagine he would sell this like, except for the bolts.
You can always ask him. Like he's very open to communication. He's got great customer service with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I really doubt it, but you can confirm with Cal. But I mean I just can't imagine a vendor just being like, yeah, here's your helmet, get your own bolts. Like, you know, like I doubt it, but sure, go ahead and confirm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I might be interested in trying to up to, I mean, maybe, and I know at least getting to tier 1, but if it's possible, maybe tier 2 as well, probably. But I'm not sure if that might be a good choice.
Well, with the Moncal kit, I mean, you're going to be fine for L2. There's no issues there. Not for the, huh?
Oh,
I'm waving to Pete.
Oh,
Pete's leaving. So
Yeah,
Pete.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah,
Good
I
seeing
got
you.
a contractor appointment I got to go get ready for, so I need to head out. So
All right, Pete, always a pleasure, man. Good to see you.
always a pleasure. Great seeing y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too. Take care, man.
Be good, man.
Bye.
Okay. So, what else?
Okay, so I have the glove. Any tip for the leather to not become brittle or something like that?
Just conditioner, leather conditioner.
Well, what brand?
I use oh, crap. Hold on, let me go find it.
Okay.
Where is it?
I use this.
Card.
Oh, Picard.
Yeah. Just wipe it on with a paper towel.
What water based or like?
Tough questions.
I don't think I have in Indonesia.
Let's see.
You're getting old,
Maybe-
Mickey.
I know I can't
You
see.
get farther
So-
and farther away.
So normally with the label, I take a picture of it with my phone so that I can. Oh, what's up, then?
For you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I don't know what it's.
Cool.
She writes in cuneiform, so I don't know. I think she's been visited by aliens. Let's see. I think this one's water-based, but I could be wrong.
Or can I use baby oil?
I mean,
Something like that?
on the glove?
Yeah. Because I think is where maybe you can
Are those the Wampas?
I don't know.
I can't tell.
They probably have a tag.
This one, only this one.
Oh God. I can't read it. Sorry.
It says small.
That's okay. I was just gonna say, because I mean I have Wampas that are 6 years old and they still feel like the leather still feels like new, and I've never done anything to them.
Yeah, I don't do anything to my sprees, but I kind of like them looking busted up. So
Yeah, mine have sun bleach.
and those are 40 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you just want to go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you look at some of the pictures of the scouts like from the movie, their gloves are kind of almost brownish because they've been sun bleached and like
the dye has started to wear off.
Fading away.
On
Yeah.
the patches. Yeah, that's the Wampa wear doesn't really capture that because their patches are already black.
Yeah.
But the movie ones were tan and then colored, so they turn gray over time. And
Is the Wampa have a zipper?
no, it just has that fake. I mean, I don't. Does any replica glove do the zipper? I don't think so.
No, not that I've seen.
No, I know Fuqua was talking about doing that so that you would have the realistic gauntlet, but I don't think he ever got too serious about it.
No, they have the internal zipper for the rain pouch.
Yeah, the
one that's back up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That zipper Wampa has, but you're talking about the one on the top, the cinch zipper that gets cut off.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything
This one.
that.
Yeah, I have the.
Oh wait.
Someone cut the strip right across this. You see it? That.
Oh. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know how they.
That's the button.
The tag that you.
No, there's. You remember in some versions of the spree, Mickey, there's like a button that like comes over the top.
The strap that goes over the top.
Yeah.
I had to cut it off with a razor.
But the Esprit is have a zipper right in here, right?
Yeah, you have to cut that out with the.
Yeah.
I cut mine out with a razor. Really carefully.
I have this from my garrison mate, Indonesia garrison. I don't know what brand it is, so yeah.
I don't know if it works well for those kind of gloves, but I'm also a baseball guy. So I know that Walmart, do you have Walmart in Indonesia?
No.
Okay, well, I know they carry this brand of like a spray-on leather conditioner called Lexol, Lexol, and I use that on all baseball gloves, and it's fantastic. I don't know if it would translate well to regular, hand gloves, but I use a few different things for depending on what leather I'm conditioning. But Lexol, it seems to kind of be a universal. I use it in all kinds of situations. It seems to do well. It comes in a little spray bottle. You spray it on and then you rub it in.
If you could look up what the active sort of ingredients are in that, there may be something similar in Indonesia that you could just, different name brand or something, but it's the same stuff. That might work.
Yeah. or maybe I can use for shoe polish for leather shoe.
Yeah, I think Kiwi probably makes a leather conditioner. I know they. I have
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Kiwi, we
Yeah,
have in Indonesia Kiwi.
I use
Yeah.
Kiwi saddle soap for my my short trooper ammo pouches.
Okay.
You guys take way better care of your stuff.
Well, I'm brand new. All right, so this is my only kit,
Conditioning and polishing and
what I'm doing is I'm just reading a ton, and then I absorb it all, and I basically just apply everything that everyone's ever recommended.
My flight suit.
I'm listening to all this. I'm like, am I missing something? Should I be doing this?
Yeah, I mean, guys, you're supposed to look rough, man. This stuff's supposed to be beat up. Don't get too precious with it.
How many short troopers are on here right now?
Me, Joe. Who else is a short trooper?
Well, my point is, you guys all got those ammo pouches, right? And you probably all ordered them from the same warehouse.
Yeah, it smelled like hell. I know.
Right. And mine was in worse shape than most of the pictures I've seen. So it took a lot of work to get it back to its. There's a difference between looking beat up and looking like it was stored in water and then hung out in the sun.
Did it have mold on it?
It had a ton of mold, and it took a while to get rid of it. So I basically soaked that in lemon juice for a while, and then I had to bring it back to life by, then I put it in a cooler with like crumpled up newspaper and vinegar for like 2 weeks just to get rid of that smell, because it was like taking up half of the downstairs. You could smell that thing throughout the rooms. And then I had to get back to conditioning it, which is where I went with saddle soap and some leather conditioner. So I'm not really intending to take care of it as much as I'm just trying to get it to an acceptable look, and then maybe I'll just let it deteriorate from there. So we'll see.
Get it to a point where you can live with it in your home.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely mine smelled like a damp basement. And
yeah.
I left it outside for about a month, and that kind of took care of that. But the pouches also, you need to kind of darken them a little bit with some shoe polish because they're.
Mine came darker. So
okay.
I saw pictures of folks that had really light ones, and then mine came and it was already really dark. And then just applying a little bit of leather conditioner made it even a little darker.
Right.
It's right here. It's right here. Here's how dark. Well, actually, it's got a little bit.
Good.
It's got a little bit of that sweat going on right now. That salt sweat coming out that I'm gonna have to. But it's really dark.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks real good.
And then I had to do my boots too, because I can't remember what color I ordered of the Orca base, but they were super light.
Yeah, none of them are quite the right color. And I used black shoe polish on mine to bring them down to.
Yeah, I used a dark brown. It needs to be even darker, I think.
Yeah, that's why I use black. I know it seems a little extreme, but it gave me the best result.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Looking to the film boots, which are quite dark.
Yeah,
and none of the Orca bays out of the box match that color. You do have to weather them down.
Yeah, I basically went outside and I have these cinder block walls that I was just kicking with them to really get them beat up.
Yeah,
and I think I need to do it again. I need another round of it.
Yeah, I know people that have put them on and walked around in the ocean with them on.
I wish I was
so
close
upset
enough.
because I did a cruise like a month ago. I wish I had bought them before the cruise because I would have worn them out on the beach.
Yeah.
Speaking of ordering, talking about the colors, it's okay if I get the sand because they all have to be weathered down and darkened anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I got Havana.
I think I got Havana too, but I see all kinds of people posting about getting sand and then just
I think sand
darkening them up
is the one that people prefer. But like I said, none of them are the right color. You have to kind of darken all of them.
Well, I'm looking at the two sites that I have saved right now for these boots, and sand is the only one available in my size.
Okay.
That's the reason I was asking.
No, then get it. then get it.
Yeah, you're totally
Because like I
fine.
said on the gloves thread, it's like then when I get more money saved up, then I'm getting the boots, and I'm at that point. So I figured I was going to wait until I talked to all y'all. I'm sorry, Indiana. That before I hit the buy on these. So
Yeah, no, sand is fine. Sand is fine, and you know, leather conditioner. In my case, I used black polish, and you'll get it really dark to look like the Scream boots.
Oh, you know what? I think I have a question. Go ahead. I'm gonna get something for my question. You can go ahead.
Oh, show and tell. Great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think mine took like my boots took like three days of weathering to get them to be to get them to be close to how they look. Like they're very dark.
It's very,
Like a lot
yeah,
of people,
movie boots are
yeah.
very dark.
A lot of people underestimate how dark they actually were.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my question is, I haven't really. I've been kind of cutting my kit down, but I'm afraid to cut too much and then have to, like it was said earlier today, like add. I'm learning a technique that some of you may have tried before, but with ABS paste. Have you guys used that? So I've been doing that because I've had to really, with my A50 kit, it's built for, I think, bigger guys than me. I'm 5'8", like 155. So a lot of the things are really wide and really big, and I want to bring it down and slim it down. So I've been cutting and then wanting to blend the seams. So I've been using ABS paste, but I don't want to have to do that unless I absolutely have to. So my question specifically is on the chest plate. So this short trooper is on the chest plate and the back plate. I can't really tell from the pictures, but when you cut this down, should there be a gap here that's covered by the straps? Like, should it be like a cut short here and then cut short here, and then the strap is what brings them together?
Yeah, there is a gap. It's not, they don't meet flush like the Scout one does.
So there's not really any kind of like cutting down, like guide out there to do this stuff, is there?
Well, like I have the Imperial Surplus kit.
Yeah.
So Kevin Weir has a Facebook page dedicated to people that buy his kits, and he'll only let you into the group if you buy his kits.
Right.
But yeah, like on his Facebook page, they had like step by step each piece, like how to trim it down.
Yeah. I think 850 ArmorWorks does the same thing, but I don't have the patience to listen to the way he his kit. I don't know. I started to watch some and I was like, well, I'll just look at pictures and figure it out, because I'm pretty creative.
I think that's the best.
Yeah.
Make it look like the picture is my motto.
Yeah. And I'm taking it really slow because I second guess myself a lot. So I always want to make sure, and then I sleep on it. And then I think about things while I'm sleeping, and then I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And then I still hesitate. And it's just like, so I just wish I had somebody closer to me that I could see things in person. I'm like a in-hand guy. If I can see something in hand, I can do it exactly like that.
Are you Golden Gate Garrison, or do they have any armor parties?
No, I am. I can't remember the name of our garrison. Sean Taylor's our guy.
Oh, okay, is that Central?
Yes. Yeah.
Central.
So I'm Central Garrison.
Are you on their forum? Do you know of any armor parties or?
I think they had one last August that I couldn't make, and
Wow,
I need
so
to reach back
They don't
out.
have them frequently.
At least not that I have seen. So
okay. I'm trying to think. I don't.
It's all right. I'll figure it out. I didn't mean to make it sound like I was like bitching about anything.
Oh no, I know, but a lot of people aren't always aware of the resources that are just in their own areas. So like down here we have our Pathfinder ART, and we have frequent armor parties at Mr. Poopy's house. So he's not here. So
I wish I was closer.
That is one of the things I miss about out there, is being able to do armor parties pretty much throughout the year, because doing an armor party in Indianapolis in February is just moronic.
Yeah, I mean, we just had one like not too long ago, and I can imagine. Oh, there he is. Justin,
What's up?
when we doing the next armor party, man?
I mean, we can try to do one right before celebration, like a couple weeks to get anybody kind of.
Yeah, it might help to do like a crash course for some people that want to, do a con crunch.
So, shit, where's my calendar? Probably then I would say mid-May.
I could probably do the 21st. The 14th, I'll be out of town. Or I could do the 7th. Or that weekend, either Saturday or Sunday.
So 21st.
Just the 14th for sure, I'll be in Vegas.
Okay, so the weekend before celebration then?
The 21st.
Yeah, I can probably make that work.
Yeah, we could do like a con crunch themed, like bring your last minute.
Oh shit.
Pathfinder.
Wait. Not the 21st. Can you do the 22nd?
Probably.
Okay, because we got somebody else's party on the 21st. So
somebody else's armor party?
No, somebody's graduation party. So yeah, here on me.
Okay, that'll probably work.
I'll pencil it in here.
Pencil it in. Get your pencil.
No problem.
We see if we can get Raj's tread speeder done.
Oh God, I gotta talk to him about. We have that.
We got to make Mr. Irish happy. He's very, very distraught that we have not finished that CRL.
Oh God, it's so. We have a garrison party tomorrow, like in
Right. Yeah, I can't make that one. I know.
Garden Grove or wherever the hell it is, and then
yeah,
I'm gonna talk to him. He ordered pants yesterday.
Okay,
so
great.
If they come in today, as soon as he tries them on, I'm gonna take the pants and I'm gonna put the additions on the front.
Awesome.
I mean, here, let me go grab I'll show you the boots real fast. Hold on.
I know this is what you guys all been waiting for, the tread speeder driver, everybody's favorite costume from the sequel trilogy.
Oh no.
I'm just certain because I'm not going to be out there the 7th. I won't be out there
beyond that.
All right, look at these things. Woohoo! Those things were black, guys.
Yeah.
They started out black.
Awesome.
Yeah. So boots are done.
Nice.
Shins are. They need one more sanding and then painting, and then they'll be good. Shins and knees. So basically, I'm taking care of all of his waist down.
Okay.
And
what are they just motorcycle boots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're Alpine Stars motorcycle boots. They just used those, painted them white, and slapped some ABS covers over top of them and called it a day. Tread speeder driver didn't seem to be the most well thought out addition to the Star Wars pantheon.
Yeah.
As far as scout homages go, it's not one of the better ones.
People thought the patrol trooper was niche.
I love the patrol trooper. I really do. I know it was kind of a shock at first, but once I kind of looked at it, I was like, no, I like this.
I like the mountain trooper. I think it's really cool. And I
What's
think
that?
The mountain trooper.
I love the mountain trooper. I love the mountain trooper. That's why I fought to get that thing as a CRL. There's people that are still angry about it. Like, it's only an action figure.
Yeah.
They get angry. They get really worked up about it. About their plastic spaceman.
Star Wars fans getting really worked up about something.
Can you believe it? Can you believe that?
That's our passion. What? I mean, at one point they were saying they're going to let mountain troopers walk around Galaxy's Edge.
I'm still hoping for that. I mean, listen, I got a lot of inside info from people whose names I can't speak out loud that told me that they were being worked on for Galaxy's Edge, and it was something that was going to be a live action costume at some point. I think the pandemic put the brakes on it.
Well, they went over budget on Rise of the Resistance too, and a lot of things.
And then there's that. Yeah.
And
now there's rumors that they might switch the whole thing over to Tatooine, so this may never happen. But it's not the first Disney park exclusive character we have on the roster, we also have the White Kashyyyk. So I still feel pretty good about the Mountain Trooper.
It's a great design.
Yeah, it's awesome. Love it.
And I've been doing some research into it, and the bucket's only $125. KB Props was saying that he would sell the bucket for $125, and then the rest of the suit for $600. So I'm actually really focusing on getting into the kit.
Well, and
I got this one too.
Hey, it looks just like me.
And Dennis now too.
Yeah, nice. His looks better than mine though.
I don't know about that.
There's a guy in Utah. He just barely finished his, and it looks great. His name's Keith Olson. He's an awesome Fallen Order trooper. He looks awesome.
Yeah, I really like that armor. Like, sorry, go on.
I was going to say I trooped in mine for the first time last night, and kind of just see what needed to be adjusted and everything. Couple adjustments, but a lot of the people really liked it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they were like, "Man, take a look at that scout trooper. That's a cool scout trooper."
Yeah.
Right? They knew what I was, but no connection with the movie. I mean, with the video game at all.
Is the scout back is horrible enough? I can't imagine what it's like having that giant battery on your back.
The battery's not bad. You just don't have a lot of. It's not as the mobility is down from a normal scout because you just can't kind of shift as well. But it's not terrible.
Yeah, I didn't really see a problem like the weight of it back there. It's pretty. It wasn't too bad. But it is like one of those things like you got to watch when you sit down because you're gonna be able to sit back.
Yeah. But honestly, kids really loved it. It's got just a little bit of pops of color, and everybody really kind of gets, especially if you have your riot baton out. Like, it's fun to like mess with people. They really dig it.
And it does have lights, doesn't it?
You
can have
you can
LEDs
put them
inside?
on the riot baton so that it sparks at people.
So like flies going to the light, you catch
Yeah.
all the attention. Okay.
Exactly.
Lights on my suit.
You just have to watch out for Jedis and people out there with their lightsabers because they want to like reenact and fight with you, and I'm like, no thanks.
This isn't built for that. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to see more people latching onto that costume though, because it was fun to build, and I think it doesn't seem as obscure as some of the other ones, and so everybody kind of goes, oh, I could do a scout. Well, this one's got some extra attachments and some accessories. This looks fun. So yeah, it's good to see people kind of coming around.
Yeah. Well, the bit that got me with that was the way you and Dennis did it. You making it the way you make it interchangeable. It's
Well, his is.
bits like the glove greaves and stuff, like a case of like that off, this in, and suddenly you're a completely different thing. That makes me thinking like, well,
yeah.
And it's literally what, less than a handful of parts.
And
some of them you can use between the two, like say the magnets in the gloves and the stuff like that. It's just like, it's the little things like it's the little, what's the name? The little details of that stuff, like the ingenuity, like using the gel cap sleeves to route the pipework down, stuff like that. It's just like, what a brilliant idea. It's like ridiculously simple how some of it is, and you end up overthinking things and like, oh yeah.
Not all kits
But no,
are
it's-
interchangeable, but you know, this one just happened to be. So I was determined to make it work.
It's fantastic. It's a brilliant solution. When you say it's not like, oh yeah. But no, that's what that struck me was how easy it is to swap between the two without an awful lot of trouble.
Well, I was very grateful for Ricky Boy Blue jumping in when I started mine, because he just went full steam. I think he nailed that out in like 2 weeks. You know, all those mods.
Yeah, Ricky's a beast.
Yeah,
He's a
I didn't think
beast.
of that. It's a great idea.
No, but go back to that mountain trooper thing. I'd never heard of that until I saw the costume and the detachment CRAs. It's like, the hell's this? But I love stuff like that. The obscure things that not many people are going to have. because it's a talking point. It's like, what's that? What is this? It gives you an in, if nothing else. Because like everyone can have a stormtrooper stuff, but it's not like the little ones that not that many people have heard of that sort of get my attention.
And then people start calling you a Ghostbuster. That might just be a Rebel pilot thing, but yeah.
They're just jealous.
It's never going to be Biker Scott cool, but there's nothing. It's up there.
What's that, Mike?
I'm just working on my belt boxes while we're talking. I'm listening, and I'm just kind of. So I got the Mr. Paul's belt boxes, and some of them come with like these. There's like little bubbles in there. So I'm filling them with the super glue and sanding them down. So I'm just listening. I'm listening and sanding.
Getting rid of the bubbles, making it nice and smooth, and then you got to make the thing look totally trashed.
Yep. Yep. I hear you guys talking about, so and so knocked out a kid in 2 weeks or whatever. Shit, I've been working. Excuse my language. Sorry. I've been working on this thing for months now, and maybe I'm overthinking a lot of this crap. Because
that you're never done, even after you're approved.
I read so much stuff that it just sounds like there's, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it sounds like there's just a ton of like detail Nazis out there that are just like that give me a little bit of like anxiety, like, oh crap, I really need to make sure that this is, this or this is that. And then I hear, other folks talk and say, oh man, you don't need to worry about all that. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm just psyching myself out or what.
That patrol trooper behind me is about, I think I'm probably hitting about 2 years, and that thing still isn't finished. It's been sitting, the armor's been done for well over a year, but never finished the helmet, and then getting a jacket has been the most impossible task of all time.
But Geo's on it.
Geo's on it, and I sent you that picture. You saw my sleeves are done.
Yes.
So Geo
from Crow Props.
Oh.
Because there's been a bottleneck with patrol troopers because the jacket is really tricky, and the only prop maker that was doing it for a while was Dennis over in Russia, and they haven't been able to get the material, I think, since the pandemic started, and now with the war it's impossible. So I reached out to Geo because he works fast and he doesn't mind taking on some of the niche costumes. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Like some people are like, if it's not going to sell hundreds, I'm not interested. Like he will do some of the more niche things. So I hit him up last week and sent him off the references. So he works so fast. I would not be surprised if we saw something within, a month.
He takes criticism too. We nitpick and he listens.
That's important. Which is another like important quality, because a lot of armor makers get real defensive about changes.
Pro Props, you say. I've seen their name only because I have been kind of starting to take a look at clone trooper stuff, because my son wants to do that at some point, and I've seen them mentioned a lot, specifically with like boots, I guess. The same guy.
Yeah, he does a lot of clone parts. Okay. Yeah.
And I could say, you heard me joking earlier about 2001 Comic-Con wearing old Easterman Jack boots. I got a pair of Geos at the beginning of the pandemic, so I haven't had a chance to wear them yet, but just around the house, I love them. They're so comfy.
One question real quick, because I have to go. What are the rules for new guys in when it comes to using the vendor section in the forum? I managed to read it somewhere, but I forgot. Could I use the vendor forum like to buy stuff, or?
Yeah, of course. It's what you're barred from. Are you in the 501st or no? You're still.
No, I'm still in the process of creating.
Okay, what you're barred from is buying Legion merch, and there's like the patches and all that stuff. You're totally allowed to go into the vendor section and purchase prop parts. That's what it's there for.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. If you can see it, you can do it. The stuff that you can't do, you can't see right now with your level of permissions. When
Okay.
you get approved and you come back and say, give me full access, you're going to see this whole chunk of the form that you've never seen before.
Okay.
And then that's where all the fun stuff is hidden away.
All right. All right.
But yeah, you're totally clear to go and purchase from vendors in the vendor form. That's
Yeah.
exactly why it's there.
And yeah, as for the other question regarding blasters, where would you recommend I get prop blasters for scout troopers exactly?
Well, we were talking to Matt about that earlier because he was specifically concerned about boot droop, because some of the rubber blasters, especially like your Luz DVH blaster, they're pretty heavy. And I was telling him that for trooping, if you can get a 3D printed blaster just to put in your boot and walk around with, that's probably your best bet, because they're light and they're not going to make your boot sag. And if some kid steals it from you while you're not looking, you're not going to be too heartbroken about it as if they stole your Lu blaster. But then the other issue we discussed was how many troops we're not even allowed to bring our blasters into, and how as a result the blaster usually just rides around in your bin.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think that might be it. Other than that, I think I really thank you guys for setting this up. At least it was great getting to know you guys and getting introduced to all of this.
Awesome. And you're a local guy, so when we have our next Scout Team 6 armor party, like if you can come, please do.
All right.
You get to meet some of your future garrison mates and can help you hands on.
Would this be would you guys announce those kind of things on the forums then, or?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even though it's only for Southern California, it's not only for anybody that's in town can come, but we still put it on the Pathfinders forum because we're a big garrison. We have a lot of people in it, so
okay.
We don't keep it a secret.
All right. One more thing though, could I also have the contact info for that guy in Pomona you mentioned earlier? Or at least
Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What if I have his email address somewhere? Let's see. You can probably just email him on the forum.
Oh yeah, no, I meant like his username in the forum. I could probably contact him through there.
Yeah, if Chris X909X, that's his forum name.
Okay. Hold on.
I can post how it's spelled in the chat.
Yeah, I got it, I think. Or at least in terms of searching.
Yeah, you can just shoot him a message with the forum PM and he'll get it.
All
if
right.
for any reason you have a hard time reaching out to him, just let me know and I'll see if I can make that connection for you.
All right. Once again, thank you guys. I just I have to go right now to visit my grandfather and stuff like that. So
great.
No worries.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you so much. See ya.
Take care. Okay.
Well, I just took a picture of the visor. Just a second. I drew a line with a pencil, and I think when you look at it, the left side should come a little bit more down the top of the visor area. It's not the well, I tried to get the visor a little bit like the RS one, because I got the face sheet from the S one here. So it's a little bit more, well, I don't know the word, not curved that much on the top right now.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look okay, or to cut the visor like this?
Yeah, you don't, the corners are still rounded, right?
Yeah.
Those upper corners, because some people make the mistake of cutting those angled,
Yeah.
and they should stay rounded. I think that's what your pencil mark's showing. Yeah,
I think the right side does look a little bit better.
it's a little angled, but you might want to round it out that side a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah, I would round those corners, and you can always take them in, but I would start with something more round than not.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so. Well, that's my work for tomorrow. That.
That's going to be a job. I love
Yeah,
cutting
maybe.
out that visor area. It's so fun.
Yeah. So I have
That
to go
was
now.
sarcasm.
Have to prepare dinner. Well, guys,
Okay.
thank you for making this
Thank
possible.
you for being my racing shirt MVP.
Yeah, once again, I will do it again.
That was amazing. That was
Yeah, this whole
such a
custom
help.
stuff is terrible. Yeah, because I just put I just got the helmet yesterday, and I had to pay €2 and I don't know 21 cents for customs duties, but €6 for handling fee. So handling fee was much much more expensive than the actual taxes.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is terrible. So buying patches or stuff like that, things which are cheap, you always have to pay €6 for handling for DHL. It's terrible.
Ridiculous.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
hoping with this new T-shirt run with Custom Ink, they'll be able to get you guys a group order.
Yeah, at least for a garrison. I think
Yeah,
for
I
German
mean,
garrison it would be okay, but
it's all going to
there
be
are-
handled through them. We're not
Yeah.
going to be none of the transactions going to be going through John or I.
Yeah.
It's all going to be done through them. So I imagine they could probably make a package per garrison.
I think this would be the best because other countries in the EU, they have far less import taxes
Yeah.
than Germany does. I never thought it would be like, well, we have 90% and other countries have 20, 22, 23, I don't know. And there are some countries which have 16, 15. So yeah. So
Sure.
it would be, I think it would be good to make a group package for each country, maybe.
Okay.
But we just were 22 or 23 guys who bought in the EU. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was about 20.
Yeah. So maybe there's no much chance for groups in other countries. I don't know.
We'll see.
But
We'll see.
you can buy it as an individual. So okay. So
All right, Arnie.
you guys,
Take care, Arnie.
see you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
I leave you too. Okay, I need to lunch here.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry myself.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you guys.
Here, Margo.
Thanks, Marco. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, last question I have, and then I'll probably get to go too. Gluing your ABS stuff, right? Is E6000 what you guys are using, or I've heard other people using like a
I use this ABS
weld?
cement.
ABS cement?
That's what I use for my shore trooper. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the plumbers section of the hardware
Right.
store. You get the OD stuff. It OATEY. It basically,
Mhm.
plumbers use it for like joining pipe together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Is it that two-part that blue glue
No,
stuff?
I got some in there. I'll bring some over.
Yeah.
Hang
No,
on.
it's not. It's one. It's just one liquid that you
I
just
mean,
kind
it
of.
smells really.
It does. It smells strong. It basically welds the parts together. So don't do it until you're sure.
The more toxic the smell.
I'm never sure. That's the problem. That's why I'm still doing this, is because I'm never sure.
Oh, I think Chopper's got. Yeah, there it is. That's it. Mhm.
OATEY.
That's what I got.
Okay.
It's also black. So just
mine's not black. Mine's
it's
like
not?
no, mine's like snot colored.
Oh, okay. Mine was black.
Okay.
It
That's
works.
the only one I could find at my hardware store, but it worked because the armor should be, the base of it should be black or brown or
Are you talking about the shore?
yeah,
Yeah.
like your undercoat should be
Yeah.
black or brown or dark.
I'm doing like a dark brown. I think I ended up landing on the Montana gold, like shock brown is what I've been using. Yeah.
Yeah, that everybody or Kevin sold some of his kits black, so people just already had black ABS they were building from. Mine was white,
that's
but
mine's black. Mine's black. Who's Kevin?
Imperial Surplus.
Oh, okay, got it.
Kevin Weir.
Yeah, okay. I didn't buy from Imperial Surplus. So I don't know that. I don't know everybody's names by first name, especially. You just say Kevin, I don't know who that is.
You'll get used to it. A lot of these vendors, have pretty good reputations throughout the Legion. So
yeah.
Cal, Kevin.
Yeah. Yep, I'm definitely still in the infancy stages of
Jeff.
Everything.
Can't forget Jeff. And a lot of these guys, they come on the forum and pop in every now and then, say hey. So, but yeah, the ABS cement's what I went with for my short trooper. I mean, you could use E6000. There were a couple parts that I just for fun, just to test it out, I used double-sided Scotch, tape.
Yeah.
They have still held up amazingly.
I use this a little bit. It's 3M Scotch weld.
Oh yeah.
That's epoxy.
2-part epoxy. Yeah, that'll hold anything.
That'll hold anything. Is that what you said?
Yeah, be careful. Once you glue that down, it's not coming up.
I mean, the ABS cement's not either, really.
Well, all I've really done with that so far is I wanted to do a seam in here, so I glued like a strip in here and then another strip, because I basically cut off the whole back, like whatever that is, bump, because it was this kit came with
it had the pieces molded in, right?
Yeah. And I didn't really want it because it was on both sides, and so I cut it down and then I ABS pasted in there, but to glue it down, that's what I used that for. And then I got to sand that I just did that last night, so don't look at that ugliness right there.
We had a Vanguard applicant with an 850 kit, and they worked a minor miracle with it. I can't remember who it was, but
and they were approved
after many alterations.
Yeah. So what kind of things would hold them back? Like what details? Because I'm usually I want to just really kind of.
Well, like all the greeblies and everything have to be like spot on. All the little notches and things that are cut out on the back, especially that short trooper back piece is what's gonna require the most sort of
right. So I ended up getting a lot of so I don't really know what the protocol is here as far as like talking about who you've purchased from and what you're using. I don't know if like is it all just kind of vague, or can I just say, I'm going with 850 ArmorWorks, but then all of the other details that I'm going with are Mr. Paul's. So I've purchased his files, and all of I've purchased all of his available belt boxes and greeblies and anything else print wise. I'm actually kind of printing them and then modifying the kit to put those on. For example, like I took that's the back of a Mr. Paul's shim
Yeah.
that I totally got rid of everything off of the 850, and
Mhm.
then I'm putting that in, and then I'm going to blend this in with some ABS paste. So my plan is to do most of that. So I have all of the Mr. Paul's like back box greeblies and all that
Okay.
stuff, and I'm really just kind of modifying it. So it sounds like maybe I'm on the right path to
Yeah.
get to where I might be able to be considered for a Vanguard deployment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The 850 was soft in a lot of places. So,
Really, really soft. When I first got it,
Yeah.
the thing that stuck out to me the most was the forearms, the ladder. And
yeah.
I really didn't like that. And from there, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to do something about that. And I just bit the bullet and bought the Mr. Paul's files. And I'm like, well, if I have them, I might as well just, integrate as much of that into this as I can, because I
Sure.
own them. I can cut them down. I can, integrate them into where it makes sense.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. No, that's the kind of stuff that you need to do with that kit, because
Yeah.
a lot of the details are soft or not quite accurate. So
Yeah. And the reason I'm sticking with part of it rather than completely scrapping that 850 kit is because of like what we talked about earlier, is hearing about issues people have trooping with 3D printed parts, especially if I printed stuff in PLA. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to stick with this ABS as much as possible so that I didn't have to worry about those kind of issues while I'm out there.
Well, you could try, switching to PLA plus if you don't want to dive right into PET G, just because PLA plus, some of them still have slightly better heat resistance than your average.
I might as well just bite the bullet. After we had that conversation earlier in this call, I've already ordered from Amazon some PTEG and like started
cool.
looking up like, okay, how am I going to print temp ladders and all that stuff, because I don't know any of that yet. I've seen it and I've heard of it, but I haven't done any of it, and it seems daunting. And but I figured, well, what the hell? I mean, I might as well just do it.
Are you on a CR10? Is that a CR10 I see next to you?
Yeah, it's a 10S Pro.
Yeah. So I mean, what I'm printing on for PETG right now is 250-degree nozzle temperature with an 80-degree surface temperature.
Okay.
And you can start there and start tweaking some of the things like the retraction settings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But-
see, I'm also really, really new to 3D printing. So, beyond the two, temperature settings you said there, and you start talking about retraction and all that stuff, those are all terms that I've heard of, but I have not had the opportunity to like start configuring and playing with that stuff. So that's where my
with PET G, you are going to have to play around with retraction settings.
okay, where's the best place to go like ask those questions? Because I'm in some Facebook groups for 3D printing, and that shit is all over the place. Like
I know, and plus they make you feel bad for asking questions. Like
I
that.
just want to. I'd rather have like a one-on-one conversation with somebody that's like, okay, here's what you're doing. Here's what I would change if I were you. That's what I need.
Like when I started this, I just started for PET G maybe about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I just started YouTube and stuff. I started there.
That's what I do.
And then they tell you what settings to start tweaking in Cura. You just play around a little bit. You get some of the things, some of those, I forget what they call those models, to test print stringing and all that other stuff. And
I usually print a 10 tower or a bench.
Yeah, the towers and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the same printer as me, dude, if you get posted on the Pathfinders forum, I can probably just give you my Cura settings straight up
to start with
as an
and
export.
go from there.
Yeah, because I think we have the same printer, but that's not to say that what works perfectly in my space, will work absolutely perfectly.
I
yours,
get that. I get that.
But it'll get. I mean, I'm printing right now on these settings, and it's working fine so far. But I mean, there was a long period where Mickey knows I almost threw my printer out the window.
We've all been there, man.
Oh man, there's so many settings, And it's like when you're trying to troubleshoot a problem, there's so many different things. And like you said, like the advice is so all over the place that like, you're trying this. It's so hard to lock down what the actual problem is. Sometimes you're making it worse.
My number one piece of
yeah.
advice, 95% of all problems are going to be solved by changing your nozzle. I can't tell you how many times I've been like running down everything and then I just change my nozzle and it's like, oh.
Okay.
They do wear out.
Yeah, especially with higher temperatures, rougher filaments, you're going to go through nozzles. Don't be precious about them.
I ran into a problem.
And if it gives you a little bit of trouble, yeah, there you go.
That's been my experience.
Get a new one.
That's been my experience too. I just accidentally, well, it wasn't intentional, but a couple times I would change the nozzle, and again, it just starts printing like butter again.
Yeah.
So, and they're so cheap. I mean, you can get them. I mean, they're just so cheap.
They're pennies.
Yeah,
there you go.
Don't even bother. Just change it out.
Don't try to clean it. Don't try to heat
throw
it
it
up
away.
and get
Throw it away.
just throw it away and put a new one in there.
All right.
I have a CR10 Pro as well. Same thing. So yeah, if you post on the forum, like we'll give you info. I've also had better luck with hardened steel nozzles. They're a little more expensive, but they just don't break down like the brass. Like they said, the brass, just chuck them. They're fucking pennies. Just throw them away if they give you any grief.
All right.
With the hardened steel, you have to run the temperature a little hotter. Is that?
Yeah, but I do run PETG at 250.
Okay.
I use Ziltech filament. It's 250 and I think 80, 85 for bed.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that the filament manufacturer is going to have like suggested temperatures so you can try those first. If you get a temp tower from Thingiverse, it actually just the G code actually runs the gamut of temperatures. And
so if I get a temp tower from Thingiverse, all those settings are already in that G code. I don't have to go in there.
Temp tower is G code. It's not an STL.
Okay.
So you would just put that on the card and run it with your new filament, and it'll just go through like a range of temperatures, say like from 190 to 250.
Okay.
And then you'll look at the tower and be like, okay, this
looks best.
Yeah. This looks good. The bridging here is good. It's smooth. Okay, this is where I'm printing.
That's the kind of thing I needed to hear, because when I was looking at temp towers and people are talking about, build a temp tower, and I'm like, man, I don't even know how to, go in and change these settings.
Froggy, but I just,
no, I don't want to do that.
And then you're going to have to mess with flow and retraction. Those are probably temperature, flow, and retraction are probably the three you're going to need to hit the most to try to nail it down. I mean, there's other settings too, as you know, in Cura, there's a billion settings. Mm-hmm. But if you want to center on any of them, it's going to be temperature, retraction, and flow.
Yeah, PETG likes to string. It's hot.
That's the thing. PETG likes to string.
Yeah, it just prints really hot. You're going to get stringing, but even some of the stringing is not detrimental. That you're going to sand the shit out of these anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you're getting smooth prints or you're getting consistent prints, that's not as big of a deal.
Yeah. And the way a lot of our pieces print, because of the curve, most of the stringing's on the inside. So you don't even, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
I just, which filament did you get? Which brand?
Sunlu.
Sunlu, that's what I use. I print that at 235 with 80.
I'll probably reach back out to you guys once it's delivered on. I think it's supposed to be delivered on Monday. I'll probably, once I have that in hand, I may have some more questions.
Okay, cool. We're here for it.
Yeah, because now that we've had that conversation, I'm starting to worry about things like this. Right? If I'm trooping in this, are these going to be the types of things that start warping in heat because they're thin?
I mean, let me put it to you this way. I had some stuff that when I started, I had printed PLA plus, and I was able to warm and deform it with a hair dryer.
Yeah, I am
just a regular hair dryer. So I mean, that tells you like how.
Going for another 20 minutes.
I had better luck with the PLA resin coating them, either XTC 3D or just plain old fiberglass resin, because the sun has a little bit of trouble getting through that resin, and it's that stuff hardens like a rock. And so even if it deforms, you're not going to notice it because it's internal. So if you can, brittle pieces, small pieces, delicate pieces, if you can get even just a thin coating of resin on them in some form, it's really going to help deform or keep from deforming.
Yeah, the XTC 3D stuff is great as long as you get that 2-to-1 balance right.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, then it starts smoking, and then you got
your gloves will get real hot if you touch.
yeah. Then
You
you gotta
said
run.
XTC, XT is in Tom.
XTC 3D, yeah.
Okay.
And
you can get it off Amazon. It's
about $40 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just remember, less is more with that stuff.
Yes.
And you just paint it on, or?
Yeah, I use one of those like cheap little hobby brushes that.
All right, I'll order some of that too.
Yeah, the foam brush.
It's a brush you're never going to use again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. No,
don't get attached.
I have other crafts that I do that I've coated and stuff like that, where I know that, you know, some of this stuff is just disposable. You know, it's a one-time use only stuff.
Yeah, because bristled brushes will leave bristles in the resin. So foam brushes, like that,
right? Exactly.
When you're done.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't want brush marks.
Yeah.
So now I need to learn to print in PTEG, but some of these other PLA parts I might be able to salvage by applying some of the techniques you guys have just talked about. I haven't really gone too deep into it. It's not that bad. I don't have like a whole, you know, printed armor that I'm now afraid I need to scrap. It's just some of the stuff I've been printing to add to this, and blasters. I just printed a DL T19X, and it's all in PLA, and so now it sounds like it's just going to be a display piece.
Well, I mean, my E22 is PLA because I didn't know any better, or plus I think, and I did XTC on it. So yeah,
mine's all PLA. Yeah, and it also has a Blast FX kit in it that you guys were saying like isn't needed, but
well, all right, with that we were talking about Biker Scout blasters.
Okay.
With the E22, there is a Hero blaster from Rogue One that does have lights in it.
Yeah, and I've got all that.
That's totally acceptable. The Scout blaster doesn't have anything like that.
Yeah, I've got all the lights hooked up.
Yeah. If you look at the CRL, you'll see for level 2 we have.
Oh, it looks like my 9 volts dying, because once it dies, then these are the first lights to go out. So I need to get a new. Gotcha. But yeah, I've got all that stuff in there.
Yeah, no, that question was about the Scout blaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you should be okay to troop with that. You just don't leave it in the trunk of your car, right?
Exactly.
That's where it's going to get smoked. Yeah, but just to troop in it for 1 or 2 hours and everything, you shouldn't experience any type of deformity or anything. It's where you store it that's going to be that'll be an issue.
Would that be the same for some of the other accent parts on the armor as well?
I mean, I wouldn't leave them in the car if it's really hot outside. No,
you don't want to store them out in the shed, you know, in the yard.
Right. No, and I would never do that. But I mean, as far as trooping, like if it was 1 or 2 hours, I should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold you to it. I'm not going to come back and say, "Hey, Dennis said," you know.
No, you should be good. No, you should be good. In 2 hours, you should be fine.
Okay.
Because I have my weapons are PLA. You know, my DLT 19X. You know, I troop with that outside and no issues with deformity.
You're not going to want to stand in direct sunlight whether you have a blaster or not, because you're just
hot. Don't do that. I just do that for fun. I just go stand in direct sunlight all the time.
Yeah.
So can you condition PLA with resin and have it not melt, or is that just something that you're going to deal with PLA? Is that it's just going to melt?
Am I hearing a disembodied voice? Who is that?
No, it's Jake.
Oh, okay. What did you say, Jake?
PLA is going to warp in the sun no matter what you do to it. It's just a matter of if it's coated right, you won't notice the warp. That's all. Like the internal temperature will get to a certain point where it'll start to loosen up. But
all right,
it's not the end of the world with most pieces.
And again, you're talking prolonged exposure.
Yeah, I mean, just keep
sun.
moving, walk around, get some shade.
So what sort of
Take a break.
temperatures would we be looking at for that?
What's
So obviously
that?
someplace, what sort of temperatures would you be looking at? In terms of you're saying if it gets a certain temp, the heat, it'll start to
What is the
form stuff. Is it quite an extreme temperature, or is it like something quite low? Because obviously it's obviously weather.
No, it doesn't need to be extreme. It's more like if it's getting like direct sun exposure,
Yeah.
or like Dennis was saying, if you lock it in you block your blaster in a hot car.
It's PLA. It's what glass temperature for PLA is 50 to 80 Celsius. But you got to think direct sunlight is way more hot than the actual temperature.
Right.
Especially with paint. We used some PLA parts on the bike that were flat black. And honestly, 5 minutes within direct sunlight in like 80-degree weather was enough to warp them. 80-degree Fahrenheit, mind you. So it depends on what the paint is. It depends on direct sunlight, how long it's, I mean, think about if you go out in 90-degree weather in Southern California, you spend 10 minutes outside, you're going to get a sunburn, like no matter what. Like it's just what it is.
Right.
And so some places are going to have worse UV protection than others. Like I said, out in Southern California, everything melts. Like ABS in like parade weather, the TK's shins start falling apart on them. Like it's just nothing you can do about certain places.
Right.
So essentially living in a country that's the English equivalent of living beyond the wall in Game of Thrones, she'll be all right then.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
On that rare sunny day that you have, you may need
it's
cover your PLA parts.
Rare, very
What about
definitely.
the opposite side of the spectrum of PLA becoming brittle because of the cold?
I've never run into it because again, I don't live somewhere where it gets cold.
But even if it's cold outside, if the sun is bearing down on the part, I still think you might run into an issue.
Yeah.
We're not too that bad. By cold, it's sort of like you be looking, I don't know, sort of 10, 15 degrees sort of Celsius, stuff like that. Because we get the Gulf Stream, so it tends to affect that a little bit as well. So it'd be cold, but not like Canada cold.
Right.
So we tend to get sort of medium sort of average weather rather than the extremes that you guys get.
Yeah.
When we get hot, it's hotish, but not like, oh my God, I'm going to dehydrate in 3 seconds hot, or 9-foot snow drifts or any of that stuff. We're lucky if we get 2 inches of snow, stuff like that. So we just sort of like, it's like it tries to snow, but it doesn't really have it in it. It's having a bad day.
With your scout armor, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
This is more like 3D printed armors and
no, because I was just looking at obviously at some point in the future getting into printed print.
The only thing you do have to worry about
stuff like that.
One thing you do have to worry about with heat, even with is glue.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had lenses fall out of helmets in the right temperature.
Yeah, the worst is when you're like, oh, I got my bucket in my bag, and then you go out to troop and you're like, my lens is no longer attached. What the hell am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. So
duct tape.
Duct tape. Yeah, bring a survival kit with you. It's always good to have duct tape on a troop.
Well, it was super nice meeting all you guys. I'm gonna drop out.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, it was great to meet everyone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thanks for all the tips. I'm sure there'll be many more questions to come, but
of course.
Yeah.
We're always here for you. And honestly, Pathfinders, the fact that Pathfinders, you're getting your questions answered within like minutes. I've got questions from other detachments that I was waiting like weeks to get them answered. Pathfinders is a great place.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I've asked questions from I think his name's like Gerchen Cool or something like that. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah. He's in the Dutch garrison.
Yeah, I had questions because originally when I was doing my shore, I was thinking about going specialist, and I know he did that, and he's been super helpful with questions and really responsive too.
Yeah, he helped me knock out those Battlefield or Battlefront 2 CRLs pretty quick.
Got it.
He did the specialist and the heavy, and I did the officer.
Okay. Yeah, I like the specialist. I may go do extra parts so that I can swap them out as
Yeah,
I want them.
that's how I did the officer, because it's like the captain with 2 swapped parts.
Yeah, and I think the specialist is like the grunt with different chest
Yeah.
and shoulder bell paint scheme, back box too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? It's all
Short
just
Trooper is a highly swappable
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, thanks guys. It was awesome to meet everyone. I'm gonna take
All right,
off.
man. Be good.
See you later.
1 second. It's like the Brady Bunch. Right.
I do have one more question, and it's more general.
Yeah.
Last time I was really into costuming, I kind of had to get out around 2005, got back into it a few years ago. When I was doing that, helmets were mainly fiberglass or like the Don Post Classic Action or premiums that were actually not that bad of plastic, or ABS. When did people start doing resin helmets, and how well do those hold up? You know, because very specifically, I know Kevin does the resin helmets for the Shore Trooper.
And it
So
weighs a ton, by the way.
Can I sit with you?
Yeah, sure.
I've got a couple of resin helmets. The Kashyyyk Trooper is a resin helmet. I swear it weighs like 5 pounds on my head. I got a resin helmet that was a Mandalorian, and the cheeks broke. That kind of sucked. So but the Kashyyyk Trooper, the reason why it's so heavy is because it's really thick resin. It's lasted long. Obviously, I'm learned how to use fiberglass and resin for my Mandalorian to be able to get to be fixed. So it just depends. The thicker resin, it's more durable. The thinner resin, it's possible to break by dropping it off a couch.
Funny. It's too loud, sweetheart.
So it just depends. Honestly, it depends on how much resin they put into to create the piece.
because that's one of my major concerns is like I learned how to really run fiberglass on Fett helmets because it was easy. It was like a literal bucket. You just got in there, laid the glass, and those, like, we could drop those off a second story and they'd bounce, you know, unless it hit just right, then the gel coat would start coming off. But with resin, I'm just afraid that, like you said, you drop it off a couch and crack, and then I've got to, you know, glue and peg and fill seams and then repaint. And but I mean, if it's something everybody's doing now, I guess that's it. But I was just surprised to see ABS armor with a resin helmet.
My Kashyyyk, I haven't really like tried to drop it off a 2-story building or anything, but it's been pretty durable for me. It's been a fantastic helmet.
We had extras that we were playing with.
I'm not, if there's been a trend in resin helmets, I'm not really sure when it started, sweetie. I mean, I know Kevin did resin for the short, I mean, maybe he just wanted it to have really sharp details that just aren't possible with ABS. I passed on that helmet though, because it was very heavy. I ended up getting a Novos helmet, and that has some weight to it, but Kevin's helmet was still heavier.
I think my Sanitized Creations helmet is also a resin helmet. It's got amazing detail as well, like he was saying. It just depends, honestly. My Commander Gree is also the resin, and it's actually not terribly too heavy either. But they're good helmets. Resin helmets are good helmets.
Okay, that was kind of what my major concern was.
You're going to spend some more time fiberglass resining it.
Yeah, I don't have the setup to run fiberglass anymore. So that was 20 years ago. How long ago it was the Django Fett helmets were new when we were running them.
2002.
And I actually ended up having to mend my cheeks on my Jango Fett even yesterday because it fell and broke again. It's kind of a pain. It's just, I guess I'm supposed to stay in Pathfinders. It was kind of like a calling from God. You're not going anywhere else but Pathfinders. You got to stay in the Pathfinders, Jake.
I mean, if you know what's good for you.
Well, what do you think I'm worried about here? I mean, I have been with the Rebel Legion since the very beginning, and now I'm finally working on my first set of what we used to call it today, ABS sunblock.
Well, you came to the right place.
So it's like, how bad is this going to be sabotaged?
It's the Rebel Legion and be a Pathfinder. It works.
Oh, especially Star Wars Indiana. They're one of those groups that Mando Mercs, Rebel Legion, 501st all work together on damn near everything. So
yeah, I mean, in Southern California Garrison, those groups are all relatively close too, and a lot of crossover. A lot of the same people go from group to group to group.
They never should have had us create a second one when they did the Rebels, but it is what it is.
Nick, do you know off the top of your head whether or not KB Props has a resin Mountain Trooper helmet or if it's an ABS helmet?
It's ABS, isn't it, Justin?
I'm not sure.
Mountain Trooper?
I think it's ABS.
I thought it was ABS.
Yeah. I know we've got a guy working on models for Mountain Trooper. He's been a little delayed, but those will be printable too.
I think it's fantastic that you created that blaster. I was looking everywhere, and I can't remember what the guy's name is. He's like, go look at the Pathfinders forum. I swear there's a file there. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a file.
Yeah.
So the blaster's gonna be no problem.
From scratch, baby.
It's on the wall right there.
Yeah,
wherever I can't point.
So cool.
Yeah. Well, not totally from scratch. I use the E22 as a base for the
Well, I mean, it is like a stripped down.
Yeah. I just don't want to take full credit for somebody else's work.
So we got like 5 minutes left. Just who's coming to Celebration in this group?
Hey.
Yeah, Lewis, you coming? I will see you there.
Might be a bit far.
Hey, I know people from my garrison that went to the UK for so it's not that far.
No.
Not with early spirit.
Plane ride, right?
Yeah, it's only a plane ride.
My little one's still in Rancho Cucamonga, but I'm going to be out there beginning of the month instead of end. So.
Oh, okay.
I think Lori Vogel might be coming over.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Like, they still haven't decided on a lot of the schedule yet. So haven't been able to figure out when the Pathfinder photo is going to be. I usually, try to plan it for around the Legion photo. Now with Chicago, they had planned the Legion photos, so the detachments all planned their photo around it. And then at the last minute, they moved the Legion photo from Friday to Sunday. So I'm hoping it's not going to be a situation like that, because I know it's a pain to get everybody in costume during Celebration. It's so much easier if you can just go from the big photo to a small one. So when I get that information, I will put it up. I don't know anything about the bash or the swap meet either.
I want to hit something out there sometime because I used to work right on the other side of the road from the convention center.
Oh yeah.
Worked Finding Nemo in 2008.
Oh yeah.
I didn't work an actual job whenever I was in California. It was always like in some guy's backyard doing licensed props, or an effects studio being the bottom guy on the ladder, or Disney.
A lot of people are going to be at Disney during Celebration, also Star Wars nights and going to Galaxy's Edge for the first time. So I expect we'll find a lot of members over there.
Is there a lot of actors in Galaxy's Edge that are also members?
I don't know if there's any.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Like
there's
the two
any
boys
right
that come
now.
out and like and yell at you or
I mean,
mock you or
there
whatever.
has been, but I don't think there is now. I think one of our guys was a Kylo Ren at one point, but that was years ago. I'm not sure.
Mickey, check your.
That dot of yours makes an awesome short trooper.
Yeah, she loves it too.
He said, I love it.
I'm hoping to get
Yeah,
my
you love
4-year-old
it.
into biker stuff.
Yeah, Leia outgrew her biker scout, so I have to print her a new one.
It's an hard life.
I know.
Being a princess.
Well, does anybody else have any questions? Because it is now 12 o'clock,
No,
at least where I am.
No, thanks for setting it all up. It's been great.
And of course,
Take care, guys.
anything you didn't get here, you can ask on the forum, and
See you, Luis.
somebody on the team will be sure to answer.
Bye, bye, guys. Thank you
Alright,
for the
take care.
tips.
Get some
and
sleep.
See you
all.
later.
Thank you.
Nice to
See you
meet you all.
later. Yeah.
Take care.